was brutally injured in this? What gave him the right to start thrashing them, even if it was a punishment? As we stay on with this visual, we'll soon be joined by our colleague on the ground as well that has got us this visual and to help us understand what exactly unfolded. This was an NCC training camp, but clearly this is not part of a camp. This is not authorized for a camp. What happened? Pankaj Khelkar is joining me for the latest on this from Pune. Pankaj, go ahead. What are the details of this incident? Has some action been taken against the one who's thrashing the junior students so brutally?
Yeah, as of now, the information that we are getting from Thane, from that particular college, the principal of this college, Suchitra Naik, has confirmed that yes, indeed, such a horrific incident has happened, but the person who can be seen in the viral video beating or brutally beating those few cadets who are there in like watery position, like they are kneeling down in a push-up position. While we spoke and we gathered some information that the person who is beating is a senior of those students and action has been initiated. Inquiry will be conducted as to what made him do such an act, because when the seniors are there or when the instructors are there, whether the instructor had ordered that senior cadet to go and punish them, and what exactly had the
He's not a teacher, he's not an instructor, he's one of the seniors, and it is much worse. I see someone holding a pink umbrella. If an instructor or a teacher has told him to do it, ordered him to do it, then it's much worse. Is this ragging? Is this a part of ragging? As we have seen in some colleges, now there are strict laws and rules against these incidents. There was some information coming in that this individual in red has been suspended from the college. Is that a confirmation coming in?
As of now, only action has been initiated. That's what was confirmed by principal. But when we tried to speak to few other NCC instructors or seniors who have done NCC course, they were not ready to speak on this particular incident, that they haven't seen such a brutal act. Even if instructor has to punish the cadets for some of their wrongdoing, such an act is not possible or is not allowed.
Tell me this, Pankaj. Tell me this. Did the instructors who you spoke to, even anonymously, did they say that is this a part of protocol? Is this done in NCC courses? Because we have had NCC courses in colleges across the country. Have never heard of any such incident taking place in any of the NCC camps.
See, whenever cadets do or indulge or violate rules, they are given a ragda. That's what is a famous word, ragda. But ragda is what? Doing 4 rounds or holding the rifle above your head and doing 4-5 rounds. That's what is called ragda. But here, brutal beating can be seen. And in such a beating, those cadets who are there might get injured or might have got injured also. That inquiry should be conducted. Their medical checkups should be done, and strict action, legal action should be initiated against that person, senior, who has done such an act. Only rusticating him from the college won't do. That's what is coming anonymously by those who have already done or who are instructors in NCC camps.
Training for the armed forces is not easy. It is no cakewalk, but this is not part of the training and it shouldn't be. According to the information coming in, action has been initiated by the college administration. The principal of the college in Maharashtra has said students need not worry at all about any of this incident. If they are faced, they need to immediately inform administration. It will not be tolerated, and perhaps it is imperative to sensitize even senior students by the instructors, by the teachers, to not indulge in this behavior. Thank you so much, Pankaj Khelkar, for the latest on that. We leave this with a message about how this cannot become a protocol, because armed forces is an extremely reputable profession to be taken up by the youth of this country. After a very short break, I take you to Haryana, because that's where our investigation is still ongoing. We get you visuals that nobody has. This is an extraordinary perspective of drone, of going on to the hilltop to try and find people who are hiding there. Hiding from who and why? We get you the shocking revelations of the social media hate posts. the ones who incited violence, whether they're from the Hindu or the Muslim community, will action be taken so that nobody uses internet negatively, the manner in which it can spread violence, as we have seen in this case and many more across the country. After a very short break, thank you for watching.
Just bring out the point where you have mentioned in your report that gold demand in India particularly, which is the world's second largest consumer of gold, has in fact slipped in Q2 of the calendar year. Help us with the reasons behind the same.
Well, as we have stated, it's largely to do with the price. As the prices have shot up very fast, consumers tend to stay on the sidelines to see whether this is a blip or is it a sustainable increase. It always happens. Volatility is good for the trading community. It's not good for the consumers. So that is what has really happened. On top of it, there have been other factors as well. Probably a little bit of inflation has bitten into the incomes, and that must also have reduced the amount that people could afford to buy gold. But primarily, the high prices, in fact, it touched something like 64,000 rupees in Indian rupee during the quarter, where gold prices were literally unaffordable for many people. That must have been the biggest reason. And to give you an indication, gold prices have gone up by nearly 12% above the prices of last year's same quarter.
Okay, sir, can the second half demand be even worse than the first half? What is your own sense here?
Well, generally, second half is the better half in every year. This is a general rule, although we have seen even Q2, sometimes Akshaya Tritiya just exceeding expectations. Generally, in the Indian demand is such that second half is the biggest quarter. And within the second half, the fourth quarter, when you have generally puja, and then Dhanteras and others coming in, and then the wedding season. This is how it is. In fact, fourth quarter is something which everybody looks forward to when it is in the jewelry business. Now, it is the third quarter, part of it is lost in monsoons, because generally in monsoons, unless there is something like a significant price drop or something, people tend to focus on other stuff. And towards September, of course, it comes back with Gyanvapi festival. So the 4 months of the last year are very important. So it will always be higher than the first half.
Ramdevji, since you spoke about the sort of historical, in a historical context, let me just add that as a financial journalist, when I started out, the Sensex was around 3,000. And the Nifty was in just 3-digit level. Given the fundamentals and a lot of reportage in the recent days about this being India's decade, India's growth story, what's your own view as far as the Sensex and Nifty are concerned? Where do you see them going over the short term to medium term, sir?
Short term, I have no clue. You have to ask the chartists. They might give you some idea. I have no idea what market will do. I mean, market can very comfortably go down without giving any reason by 10-15%. So, or it can go by 10-15% on a sustained buying by FIs or something like that. So I have no idea where it is headed, but I'm comfortable wherever it is, and whatever can happen, I'm ready in the sense that 10% done. See, I'm always a fully bought guy. So I'm ready to see 20%, 30% correction because the corrections are there for 1 year or so. Within 1 year's time, you again get back the price. So, and that's the price you pay for getting 14, 15% return. So clearly, the market is poised to do well, and this is called India's. See, what happens is that in short term, a lot of these things look to be very exaggerated, but when you give a 5, 10 years time, then you realize what has happened. Like look at the tech. The tech started in 2000. Y2K happened, and we saw the birth of TCS, Infosys, Wipro. I mean, they were small companies. I mean, even in 99, 2000, they were 1,000 crores turnover, 100, 200 crores profit, 300 crores profit. Today, they become giant companies. 20 years out, 25 years out, they become like 2 lakh crores turnover, 40,000 crores profit, 20,000 crores profit. So you got to give time. And that's in India, you have to give not only to time to a company, you have to also give time to the market itself. Today, it is a $3 trillion market. In 10 years' time, you will see that this will become a $9, $10 trillion market. The issue is that do we have that patience? The market is all about the patience. Do you have patience? I mean, you decide what you want to write, where you want to write, when you want to write, but have patience. And that is what is missing. I mean, look at the option value, look at the futures value. People want to make money tomorrow, not even tomorrow. People want to make money next half an hour. That's not the market. At least I am not from that school.
Absolutely.
Good morning and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of this hour. Cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts under the scanner for hate posts that fanned riots. Over 2,300 videos from July 31st under the scanner. New SP Singla transferred. India Today tracks down rioters, den rioters hiding in Aravali mountains. Police movement tracked from hilltop. Pakistan-based YouTuber spewed venom during riots. Undeniable proof of violence with India Today. Bajrang Dal workers seen firing, admits to firing in air for self-defense. ASI team begins Gyanvapi mosque survey after court clears path for ASI survey. Muslim side boycotts survey. NCC cadets brutally thrashed in training camp. Cadets made to kneel in water and brutally beaten with sticks. News coming in right now. Uproar following the death of a school student and his father in a road accident in Kolkata's Behala area this morning. After the accident, an angry mob set a police jeep on fire. According to information, a school student and his father were killed when a truck hit them on Diamond Harbour Road in Behala around 7:30 a.m. this morning. After this, the angry mob blocked the road. In such a situation, when the police tried to pacify them, the angry mob set a police vehicle on fire. To calm the uproar, the police fired tear gas shells After a lot of effort, the police were able to remove the jam on Diamond Harbour Road. Anupam Mishra, my colleague, is joining us live this morning from Kolkata. Anupam, we see those images of a police jeep that was set on fire by an angry mob. Tell us more about what happened, what led to this move.
Yes, follow me. Let me first tell you the update. The situation is in control at present. The traffic, which was blocked, has already been started. But things went haywire just after the accident at around 7:30 a.m. today morning at Behala, when a truck allegedly rammed a school student of class 2, and he died on the spot. His father was seriously injured, and the mob and the locals crowd around the whole area, blocked the road. And when police came there, a scuffle started, and agitated mob started pelting stones on police, and they set ablaze prison van of the Kolkata police. Then they set ablaze 3 to 4 motorcycles of police. They also vandalized the private buses. And to calm the situation, police started lathi charging, and they also sorted for this tear gas shell. And after around 1 hour, the situation came into the control. And right now, police has started an investigation how it happened, who was the truck and who was driving the truck. And the police is able to pacify the agitators, and they have started the traffic, which was blocked for about 2 hours.
Okay, so they've started the traffic, which was blocked for about 2 hours. As far as the police is concerned, what about the accident itself, Anupam? What are they telling you?
According to the primary information, a truck which was coming from Diamond Harbour area towards Kolkata just rammed the student, the class 2 student of Barisha High School, and he was just going to the school with his father. His father was also got injured, and the initially, according to the locals, the truck was stopped by the local crowd, local people, and when police came, the truck suddenly or somehow fled from the spot, and that triggered the crowd to go on rampage, and that is what police is saying, and that is what agitators are saying.
Okay,
so
Anupam,
the police has also started an investigation.
Okay. So the police has also started an investigation into the accident, which led to, you can see the fallout of it when, of course, an angry mob set a police jeep on fire. But as Anupam is reporting, the situation has now been brought under control. India Today investigation sets new agenda. India Today has accessed videos that show how stones were pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Amid the serene beauty of the Aravali hills in Haryana's Nuwa, investigation reveals that 500 residents were hiding in the mountains, and cops movement were being tracked from hilltops. Not only this, the Sarpanch admits a few part of the clashes, in fact, part of those clashes have fled. In fact, locals also confirm that they were hiding in the hills due to fear of cops. Our investigation takes you up those hills just outside Nu, from where the first stones flew. From the firing spot to the hiding place, India Today goes where nobody has dared to go. India Today investigation reveals that there was intelligence failure, inadequate policing, calls for violence given on social media, and rioters' hill hideout exposed. Now the spotlight is on the Khattar government. Will they act upon this? Watch this report.
Gunshots pierced through. Hails of stones came down like missiles. Attackers took a vantage point in the Aravali hills above as the VHP's Braj Mandal Yatra passed on its route below on Monday in Haryana's Nu. India Today on an arduous journey to find out who seized the towering peaks to rain down bullets and stones on the July 31 procession. The warm hues of the rising sun, the lush greenery, the ridges, the gentle breeze, and the chirping birds told us a hidden story. Men you see sleeping here aren't on leisurely excursions. We discovered that they have transformed these hills around Nu into a strategic cover. Local villagers escaping arrests, along with suspected rioters. Their face covered, these young men sitting with fellow villagers explained to us why they are staying put in these vast, rugged terrains.
ये आप लोग इतने मतलब पहाड़ों में क्यों छुपे हुए हैं?
भाई पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे पड़े हैं पहाड़ों में।
क्यों ऐसा क्या कर दिया कि पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे हुए हैं?
पुलिस आती है उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछती तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
कहाँ?
गांव में आती है हमारे में।
तो कहाँ नहीं गए मतलब?
जो ये जो ये दंगाई आए थे ये।
अच्छा अच्छा।
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं।
नहीं तो पूरे गांव के कितने, सारे गांव के लोग पहाड़ों में?
गाँव में पड़ा है जो ये यहाँ पे गाँव में है जो।
अच्छा।
कोई कहीं चला गया, कोई कहीं चला गया पुलिस के डर की वजह से।
तो पूरे पहाड़ों में कितने लोग हैं अभी?
तकरीबन होंगे 500 आदमी।
500 लोग पूरे पहाड़ों में हैं?
हाँ।
For these residents of Nu, the surrounding Aravali range is serving as their mountain refuge. In response to an ever-looming spectre of arrests and police crackdown in the aftermath of Monday's mayhem in the district. But the new resident also admitted that suspected rioters have mingled with innocent civilians taking shelter in the hills over fears of mass arrests. Listen into him again.
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं। पुलिस आती है उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछती तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
In the FIR, police have mentioned that some of the locals descended from the mountains, carrying illegal arms, lathis and stones to disrupt religious service at a local temple. Videos of purported gunshots and stones hurled from the same heights on Monday have also surfaced. Vigilant gazes cast downward, eyes trained on the lands below. The men spotted a speeding convoy of police cars from afar.
नहीं तो फिर आप लोग पहाड़ों में ही क्यों आए? मतलब कहीं और भी जा सकते थे।
इस वजह से है, जैसे अभी पुलिस की गाड़ी जा रही है, यहाँ से हमें पता पड़ जाते है गाड़ी आ रही है, अपने साइड में हो जाते हैं।
2-3 बस।
अरे को ये कितनी गाड़ी जा रही है? ये 10-12 गाड़ी जा रही है, वो जा रही है, बस है। जहाँ मन मारे वही हिसाब मार रहे।
अच्छा। ये पुलिस की गाड़ियाँ जा रही जो वाइट बस जाती है?
3-4 बस हैं, 7-8 गाड़ी हैं। इसी के डर की वजह से डूब का पड़ा है यहाँ पे।
For these people, it's their makeshift encampment. Black tarpaulin sheets lay casually, ready to be used as cover for the night. Like ants in a procession, more villagers can be seen ascending the hills. Their silhouettes grew more defined with each step.
यहाँ बेसिकली जितने भी पहाड़ों में जो लोग हैं वो सब के सब आप ही के गांव के हैं?
नहीं, हमारे गांव के भी हैं, साथ में ये गांव है, अगला गांव में, हर गांव में से जैसे भी, कहीं से 10 हैं, कहीं से 5 ऐसे चढ़ जाते हैं डर की वजह से। जैसे कहीं का भी हिर लगता है
तो ये कब से आप लोग चढ़े हुए हैं पहाड़ों पे?
यहाँ में होगा तो तीसरा दिन है आज।
नहीं तो इसके ऊपर भी और लोग बैठे हुए हैं?
जहाँ तक ये हर आदमी अपना बचाव करेगा और ऊपर चले जाएंगे। अगर जब भी और ऊपर चढ़ गए भाई अब पकड़ के ले जाएंगे, आखिरी हथियारी और कुछ
नहीं। तो क्या इसके ऊपर भी लोग बैठे हुए हैं क्या?
हाँ बैठे हैं, जगह जगह बैठ जाते हैं। अब जैसे यहाँ बैठे हैं वहाँ बैठ जाते हैं और ऊपर चले जाते हैं। हाँ अगर पुलिस ना है तो अपने यहीं बैठे रहेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हमें किसी से कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
We now investigate in the violence-hit villages in the lap of the Aravalis below. Rafiq is president of Noor's Sarpanch Association. He admitted that young men from his village did participate in looting and rioting, and that they all have fled.
5 से 7 बच्चे हैं मेरे गांव के, नहीं है मेरे गांव के, मेरे गांव के पूरे बच्चे हैं, एक बच्चे थे। मैं ऐसे नहीं तुमको रोकूंगा, तुम कहूँगा नहीं, मैं पैर भी करूँगा, आगे चल के दूंगा उनको। ये 5-7 बच्चे लूटपाट में या दंगे हैं? लूटपाट में या दंगे? नहीं, इसमें झगड़े में हैं। वो लोग अभी हैं, मुलाकात किसी हो सकती है ऐसे ही नाम में नहीं हो सकती, वो तो निकल लिए सब। किस उम्र के बच्चे हैं? वो तो उनकी उम्र 25, 20 साल की, 18 साल की, 22 साल की, इस तरीके से। बाइक के जो मुश्किल आई गई, हाँ उनमें मेरे गाँव के 2-3 बच्चे, जो चीज़ है 2-3 बच्चे बाइक में हैं। बाकी दंगे में 5 से 6-7 बच्चे हैं जो मेरे गांव में।
A local eyewitness to the Monday rioting, Irfan claimed some rioters arrived from Rajasthan on the Yatra day, some from within Nuh district.
तो उनकी गाड़ी में टक्कर मारी थी पिकअप से।
किसने मारी?
वो पिकअप गाड़ी आई थी, वहाँ 7 या 8 गाड़ी थी, फिरोजपुर साइड से आई थी वो राजस्थान से।
तो ये लोग कौन लोग
थे? वो सारे
यहाँ कब थे वो लोग?
वो तो बाद में आए, जहाँ पे जब झगड़ा हुआ ना वो आए हैं, तुरंत झगड़ा स्टार्ट हो गया, उससे पहले नहीं आए थे वो। इसी टे पॉइंट पर आकर के उन्होंने उनकी गाड़ी में टक्कर मारी।
किनकी?
वो वाले जो उनकी गाड़ी में टक्कर मारी थी पिकअप से।
Culpability rests heavy on both sides. Not all hiding in these hills could be culprits. Not all could be innocent either. A challenge for the Haryana police to sift out the guilty from the mass of villagers sheltering in the Aravali peaks. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
My colleague Shreya Chatterjee is now joining me live from Nuh in Haryana. We can see that report. In fact, Shreya, that a lot of people from the villages in Nuh have fled because they fear police action. What is the sense among these people, because they are in fact now hiding out in these hills?
Well, Paulami, we need to understand the demography of Mewat to understand why this entire scenario is taking place. This place is actually surrounded by the Aravalis. It is somewhere down the line easy for them to just hide in the Aravalis, wait for time for the situation to calm down. They're trying to escape the clutches of the police. That's the reason they've literally made their home in the Aravalis right now. India Today's camera has captured that they are carrying makeshift beds, food, and they're literally camping in these mountains right now. Important to point out that amongst them, there are writers who are also involved. Some of them indeed are innocent, who are saying that we are also afraid of the raids that are right now happening by the police. India Today team, when they actually reached the Meoli village in Nuh, we had seen the entire village kind of run away to the mountains, and the people of the village also admitted on camera that yes, there is a sense of fear, and that's the reason they are hiding it out right now in the hills. We also spoke about the same to our police sources. They have taken cognizance of this report, and we are most likely looking for a crackdown right now, where the Haryana police in most likelihood will take a crackdown to the hills and try to arrest those writers, those who were behind this unfortunate incident in Nuh, because as the senior officials say that no one involved in this incident will be spared.
Okay, no one will be spared at the moment. Shreya, stay on with us. Sensational details, in fact, continue to trickle in. Now, FIR details against Bittu Bajrangi have been accessed by India today. The FIR says that Bittu Bajrangi provoked, in fact, the violence that we saw in Nu on the 31st of July through his videos. He attempted, in fact, to incite religious violence is what the FIR says. It also says that Bittu's social media posts widely circulated. This is a mega India Today impact. Remember, we tracked him down. We reported on the role that he played in inciting and fanning, in fact, sentiments, communal sentiments that eventually led to those riots in Nu, Haryana. Now those FIR details with India Today. Shreya, my colleague, continues to be live with us. Shreya, a part of the crackdown is also on these so-called social media influencers for fanning the riots in Nu.
Well, you know, Polumi, ever since India Today has been reporting about the social media playing a huge role in fanning the fire, we are now seeing the Haryana police continuing a mega crackdown. India Today has reported that there are at least 7 FIRs only in Nu, and now we are bringing you the details of how Bittu Bajrangi, the man whose video went viral day before the yatra had taken place, he has been booked in an FIR. This FIR has been lodged in Faridabad, Dabo police station. We are learning that this is against the viral video of Bittu Bajrangi that stoked the violence here. He has been booked. India Today is the only channel who had tracked down Bittu Bajrangi. He was unapologetic about the entire incident. He did not just post a video, Polumi. He was present in the yatra. He was present in the yatra. He was doing live streams in the yatra. He was constantly inciting people. So Bittu Bajrangi is also one of the faces of those who incited the violence. And now, after India Today's constant reporting, there is an FIR against Bittu Bajrangi. We have already reported there are FIRs against Adil, Shahid and one Guru Ghantal. We've also reported that, and now we are reporting that Bittu Bajrangi is also pinned down by the Haryana police. An FIR has been lodged in Faridabad against him for that viral video.
Right, Shreya, thank you for joining us with all of those details. Shreya, they're tracking that investigation now that is underway in order to pin down those who not only engaged in the rioting, were in fact involved in the rioting, but also those who fanned communal passions that in fact led to this very violent flare-up. Sensational details continue to trickle in as far as the 31st July Nu riots are concerned. Another video proof of Haryana violence has emerged where Ashok Bajrangi, a Bajrang Dal worker, was seen openly firing in the air on the day of the Nu violence. Bajrangi on camera has admitted that he opened fire, but he says he did it in self-defense. He says he saw 4 people dying in front of him. Another sensational video shows how the Aravali hills in Haryana's Nu became the vantage point for attackers as the Vishwa Hindu Parishad's Braj Mandal Yatra passed below. Video shows gunshots and stone pelting from the heights of the Aravalis on the day of the violence.
तो ऊपर से हमारे ऊपर ताबड़तोड़ गोलियां मारनी स्टार्ट हुई। जब ही पास में मेरे बाजू में खड़े एक आदमी को गोली भी लगी, जिसका प्रत्यक्ष गवाह हैं, प्रत्यक्ष है, जिन पुलिसकर्मी सभी प्रत्यक्ष हैं जिन्होंने वहां पर देखा था। और इसी को देखते हुए मैंने तभी सेल्फ डिफेंस में इन सब चीजों को देखते हुए एक हवा में फायर किया, जो हवाई फायर था केवल उनको डराने के लिए किया गया था। जो
उस दंगे में नरसंहार हुआ और पूरा प्लान था कि मोनू मानेसर और बिट्टू बजरंगी के साथ जो भी महिलाएं, बच्चे, सनातनी भाई वहाँ पूजा करने आए थे, संगठन के लोग, सभी दलों के लोग, सबकी हत्या करके एक मैसेज दे दें कि अल्लाहू अकबर, नारे तकबीर, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, इस तरह नारे लगाकर हमारी पूरी हत्या की साजिश थी।
News coming in right now. It's a mega India Today exclusive news break. First images of the Gyanvapi survey as being conducted by the Archaeological Survey of India. Live video now of the Gyanvapi survey in which the plaintive women are seen, and survey action is being taken on the western wall of the Gyanvapi Masjid complex. Remember, yesterday the Allahabad High Court in fact gave the go-ahead to the Archaeological Survey of India to conduct this survey at the mosque premises in order to determine if indeed there was a temple that existed under the present day mosque. Abhishek Mishra, my colleague, is joining me live from Varanasi. Abhishek, we're seeing those images of the mosque complex. The ASI, we believe, has already begun its survey work for the day.
Well, absolutely, Polumi. It began approximately 7:45 in the morning. By 7:30, the ASI team has reached there. The stakeholders from the Hindu side, including 4 women petitioners and their advocates, were present there, along with approximately 40-member team of the ASI. And that survey is currently underway. We'll show you the visuals once again at the movement of the devotees who are coming here for the darshanas. And the police administration is very strict today. There are several barricades towards the gate number 4. 2 to 3 barricades where only the devotees who are coming for the darshanas are allowed. The police administration is also inquiring the people if they find someone speculative and they want a clarification on that. So that is something happening on the other hand. But the exclusive footage which we are showing to our viewers is something which off the premises, and you can certainly see how the development is happening. And indeed, as the Hindu side who has been claiming from the day one, and today also when we spoke to them exclusively, they said that they are very confident that this exercise will conclude all the arguments about the fact whether or not the Gyanvapi complex was a temple and the Shingar Gauri temple, which these 4 women petitioners are asking for a day-to-day worship permission, is valid enough. And that is the only reason which is why this survey will determine a lot of revelation. It's been approximately going to be more than 2.5 hours of the survey, and the ASI team is currently doing this work at the premises. Also, the day-to-day, rituals, whatever happens here in Varanasi is also going simultaneously. But amid all the things, only one relief for the Muslim side is expected from the Supreme Court if there is any chance they get a hold on it. But other than that, the survey is going on in full swing, and we're expecting it to happen at least for 2-3 days to conclude that report, which will determine the claim and also the kind of evidences which will come, which are expected to come through this ASI survey. Yes.
Okay, so they're expecting, Abhishek, if I understand you correctly, to conclude this survey within 2 to 3 days?
Well, yes, indeed, Polumi. As per the direction of the District Court of Varanasi, they have given the date of 4th of August. Previously, when it was decided that this survey will be done, and 4th of August was the date to submit the report. Now, since there was a hold by the Supreme Court, then it went to the Allahabad High Court. Allahabad High Court did the hearing on 26th and 27th of July, and then gave the verdict yesterday to resume the survey work. So, according to the order of the Varanasi court, we're expecting this to at least go till Monday, because as far as we got to know, that there has been a permission about not access of the mobile phone inside the premises of the Gyanvapi and the Kashi Vishwanath. That is still Monday. So that is the time frame tentatively which we are looking at. But although there is no clarity by the ASI so far, how much days it will take, and also from the court. But yes, we expect it to happen at least for a few days, because this is a long exercise. The ASI will be looking at the complex. They have taken the measurements, the photographs, but to collect the samples, to do the land penetration technique and other techniques which will be utilized with the fact without damaging any structure or anything physically. This is what which has been said in the court, and that's why while it will take some time for the ASI to conduct this whole exercise of the survey, and then will also take some time to submit the report at the Varanasi District Court. Yes.
Okay. Abhishek Mishra there tracking all those developments. The ASI, in fact, has begun its scientific survey of the Gyanvapi complex. The ASI team has assured no damage to the mosque during the survey. 16 people from the Hindu and the Muslim side are to be present alongside ASI officials for the survey, but we believe the Muslim side is not present at the moment. Security has been beefed up at the mosque premises. Meanwhile, the Muslim side has moved the Supreme Court, challenging the Allahabad High Court's order allowing the ASI to conduct this survey. The Supreme Court is to hear that plea today. The Muslim side wants the survey to be put on hold for the moment. Now, the Hindu side has also filed a caveat in the top court to hear them out before any order is passed. The plea mentions that the Hindu imagery inside the Gyanvapi campus is being tampered with.
The survey has begun. The AIC team has reached approximately 12 to 15 minutes before. And this is the barricade right here at the police station Chowk Commissionerate in Varanasi. And beyond that, nobody is allowed to go. And that is why every media and everyone has been restricted here. Now, what is happening today is that the ASI team has reached. They will be conducting this survey with their techniques. And at the same time, if I talk about the devotees who are also coming, that is also going smoothly here. So far, there is no problem as far as this situation is concerned. You can see again there are two separate barricades which has been deployed here. Security checks, top police officials are there. They're even asking people whom they find needs clarification on their presence. And also, we have witnessed that today the environment is quite peaceful in comparison to the last time. But today are the Friday prayers, and that is the only reason that the administration is taking proactive measures in order to make sure that the situation is under control. But the ASI survey has begun, the team has reached, and the stakeholders only from the Hindu side are inside the complex, including the 4 petitioners along with their advocates. But the Muslim side has once again boycotted this particular survey and today seeking a relief from the Supreme Court, which will be done today morning in some time as well.
कहाँ फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है, क्या आप लोग खास ख्याल रख रहे हैं?
4 जुलाई से 31 अगस्त तक श्रावण माह चल रहा है। श्रावण माह को दृष्टिगत रखते हुए पूरे मेला क्षेत्र को 6 जोन 11 सेक्टर में विभाजित किया गया है। सभी में पर्याप्त ड्यूटियां लगाई गई हैं, सादे वस्त्रों की ड्यूटियां, आर्म पुलिस की ड्यूटियां और साथ ही साथ जो है पीएससी की ड्यूटियां और पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स की ड्यूटियां लगाई गई हैं। पार्किंग स्थलों की व्यवस्था की गई है। मैदागिन से लेकर के बाबा विश्वनाथ और विश्वनाथ से लेकर के गोदौलिया चौराहे तक नो व्हीकल जोन बनाया गया है। निर्धारित स्तर पर ही श्रद्धालु अपने वाहनों को पार्किंग करें और किसी भी जो श्रद्धालु को कोई असुविधा ना हो। बहुत अच्छे तरीके से दर्शन पूजन का कार्य चल रहा है।
सर, एएसआई सर्वे भी है, इसको लेके भी कुछ खास नज़र रखी जा रही होगी?
इसमें भी चूँकि सारी ड्यूटियां हमारी लगी हुई हैं, बहुत अच्छे तरीके से सब कुछ संपन्न कराया जाएगा।
जरा जुमे की नमाज भी है, क्या आज विशेष प्रबंध या विशेष नज़र उस पर भी बनी रहेगी?
हमारी बिल्कुल सभी जगह जो है दृष्टि है। कहीं भी कोई भी किसी भी प्रकार की अफवाह फैलाने का कार्य करेगा तो उसके विरुद्ध कड़ी दंडात्मक कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
सोहन लाल जी, क्या कहना है जो हाई कोर्ट ने जो है निर्देश दिया है एक बार पुनः सर्वे करने का? तो
देखिए, ज्ञानवापी का सच क्या है, मुख्य बिंदु ये है और उसी सच के अंदर जब हम लोग अगले अगले अप्रैल 2022 को हमने शिवलिंग प्राप्त किया था, मुस्लिम समाज को फुहारा कहता है, आखिर इसका निराकरण तो कैसे हो। इसीलिए हम माननीय न्यायालय में गए और सर्वे का अधिकार मांगे। सर्वे मिल गया। सर्वे के बाद फिर मुस्लिम समाज आपत्ति किया, वह सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चला गया और आज पुनः सर्वे शुरू हो रहा है। हम सर्वे के लिए अंदर प्रवेश करने जा रहे हैं। सर्वे ही ज्ञानवापी की समस्या का हल है।
तो ये कहा गया है कि साइंटिफिक सर्वे होगा और छेड़छाड़ नहीं होगी। तो कितनी उम्मीदें आज फिर आप लोगों की बढ़ी हैं इस सर्वे को लेकर के जो हाईकोर्ट ने निर्देश दिया है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आज की जो सर्वे है उससे हमारा काफी उम्मीद है। हम जो है हर्षित है, प्रफुल्लित है, सारे देश के है। यह देश के 100 करोड़ लोगों का प्रश्न है, देश के सभी सनातन धर्मियों के लिए हर्ष का विषय है और मंदिर समर्थकों के लिए विषय है। और सर्वे के लिए हमारे जो है सर्वे के अधिकारी माननीय त्रिपाठी से हमारी वार्ता हुई, वह हलफनामा भी दिए हैं कि कोई भी उनके स्ट्रक्चर को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचेगा और सारे का सारा सर्वे यथावत चलता रहेगा। और उस सर्वे के कारण ही मंदिर समस्या का हल है, वह हो कर रहेगा।
अच्छा, आप लोगों को बुलाया गया है सर्वे में?
हम लोग को बुलाया गया है।
कि आप लोग आज फिर दोबारा से जा रही हैं सर्वे के लिए, उम्मीद कितनी है? आज तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट
बहुत उम्मीद है भैया हम लोग को, क्योंकि 24 को रुक गया था, अब हाईकोर्ट ने फिर से सर्वे का आदेश दे दिया। हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं। ज्ञानवापी के सर्वे बहुत जरूरी था, तभी सच आएगा।
आज भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सुनवाई है।
सुनवाई उन्हें दीजिए, उन लोग का तो काम ही है, उन लोग का तो काम ही है, मतलब लटकाने भटकाने वाला दौड़ेंगे। उन लोग सोच रहे हैं कि हमारे हाथ से ज्ञानवापी ये मस्जिद निकल रहा है। वो तो मस्जिद है, ये नहीं मंदिर है।
आप लोग गीत गाते हुए जा रही हैं, क्या है ये?
ये हम लोग की खुशी है, आस्था हम लोग की है। हरदम मस्त रहेला बाबा तो हर काशी नगरी, गंगा मैया के अचरा फैलाला सागरी, हरदम मस्त रहेला बाबा तो हर काशी नगरी।
हमारे देश में जो नियम कानून बने हैं, कोर्ट के फैसले का सम्मान सारे लोग करते आए हैं और करेंगे। जो भी साक्ष्य जो है, चाहे हिंदू का मिले मुसलमान का मिले, उसी आधार पे कोर्ट फैसला कर दे और हिंदू और मुसलमान दोनों एक साथ मिल बैठ करके उसको मान भी लें।
कोर्ट पर विश्वास रहना चाहिए क्योंकि संविधान का एक हिस्सा है कोर्ट। लेकिन हालात ये हैं कि कोर्ट भी सरकारों के कदमों में चले गए, वो भी उनकी तरह से जो वो कहते हैं वो फैसला सुनाते हैं।
My colleague Anisha Mathur is now joining us live this morning from Delhi. Anisha, good morning to you. Tell us about the petition which has been filed by the Muslim side in the Supreme Court. When is it likely to come up before the court today, and also the caveat which has been filed by the Hindu side? Anisha, are you able to hear me? Right. Anisha, could you just give us a sense of the Muslim side's petition before the Supreme Court today, and what time is it likely to come up?
It's questioning the reason for allowing the ASI survey. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Anisha.
Well, Polamy, this matter is supposed to come up by, we are expecting it to come up by around 11:30 today, since it is item number 18 before the Chief Justice's bench. But what is interesting to note is that the Muslim side is saying that while an ASI survey could have been ordered, the question is, could it have been ordered at this stage, especially in a petition that was filed only in 2021? That the ASI survey in a petition, when this, the nuances of the suit, the questions that are to be decided by the court have not been decided, then how exactly can a survey be ordered? They're also saying this will be a violation of the 1991 Places of Worship Act, because it is ultimately raising a question with regard to the religious character of the property of the premises in dispute, and that is something, according to the Muslim side, that cannot be done at this stage before the preliminary issues of whether this matter can be heard properly, whether all of these issues can be heard is decided. Now, remember, the Supreme Court is also seized of the earlier petitions filed by the Muslim petitioners, the Masjid Committee, wherein where the maintainability of these petitions itself is under challenge. So what the Muslim side is saying is that an ASI survey could not have been ordered before the preliminary issues have been decided, and therefore it is a legal issue that has to be considered. The Hindu side, of course, saying that the evidence will be brought once there is an ASI survey.
Right.
But the Muslim side is saying that it is not for the court to bring out evidence. It is for the petitioners themselves who are raising a claim to access. They should have brought in their whatever evidence that they have, that the court cannot order a survey at this stage. Now, the matter, of course,
understood,
will be taken up very shortly by the Supreme Court, and we'll see what.
Okay, so it remains to be seen, of course, when that matter comes up, but it is, of course, listed before the Supreme Court today. Anisha, thank you for joining us. We're slipping into a very short break. Coming up next, fresh clashes erupt in Manipur. Forces and Meitei protesters clash in Bishnupur. Chili spray and tear gas fired.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The Political Stock Exchange with Rahul Kanwal, only on India Today.
In less than 2 months from now, the new iPhone 15 will be on sale across the world. While Business Today TV had reported on Friday about the price of its high-end models crossing the 2 lakh rupee mark for the first time, BTTV has got hold of more details about the much-anticipated Apple handset. It's likely to have the smallest bezel yet and could be rid of the infamous notch. Apart from the all-screen upgrade, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will also come packed with major camera improvements, and the traditional Lightning connector will give way to the faster USB-C. Tech Today's Danny De Cruz has more on all the new features expected. Danny, take it away.
The new Apple iPhones are coming soon. Most likely, they will be here by September. So a new report has leaked a lot of information about the iPhone 15 series. So let's start with the more affordable iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus models. The biggest change coming to these models is that Apple will finally do away with the notch. Both the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus will get the dynamic island, which was last seen in last year's Pro models. The cameras are getting a massive upgrade too, along with the performance. And yes, gone are the days of Lightning port. All new iPhones will be getting the USB Type-C for the first time. Now on to the Pro models, in which Apple is replacing the shiny frame with titanium, so your new iPhones will be strong too. The displays will also be better because of thinner bezels, and Apple is giving the camera hardware a substantial boost. The performance alone will make the iPhone 15 Pro models a compelling upgrade. They will become the first smartphones to use a 3nm chipset. All these upgrades make the new iPhone 15 models a good upgrade, but you will also have to shell out more money. Some models may even cross the rupees 2 lakh price point in India.
All right, thanks for that, Danny.
"5 a.m. on Monday. 4 people are killed in a shooting spree on the Jaipur-Mumbai Superfast Express. Railway Protection Force Constable Chetan Singh allegedly gunned down his superior officer Tikaram Meena and 3 Muslim passengers. Those 1.5 hours of sheer horror still haunts Krishna Kumar Shukla, an attendant who was on the coach, and now a key witness.
माहौल तो सर जी बहुत डरावना था वहाँ का। भाई ऐसा सामने वाला बंदूक लेके घूम रहा था, ऐसे लग रहा था जैसे मानो कसाव वाली कहानी सामने, तो पैसेंजर तो डरेंगे ही ना। मैं वहाँ पेट्रोल का काम करता हूँ, कोच अटेंडेंट हूँ। करीबन 12-13 साल हो गए।
Shukla rushed to the spot where he heard the firing.
हम भी देखे तो सामने वाला नीचे एकदम खून में पड़ा हुआ था, और वो जो जिसने गोली चलाई थी वो बगल में बंदूक लेके खड़ा था।
The train attendant says he got nightmares even now.
हम तो इधर जो पुलिस वाले साहब मरे थे खाली उन्हीं को जान रहे थे, लेकिन बाद में बोरीवली में ये देखने को मिला कि उधर भी एक बॉडी पड़ी हुई है। फिर दोनों बॉडी को बोरीवली में उतारा, फिर इसके बाद पता चला कि स्लीपर में भी 2 हादसा हो गया है।
Police officials who are investigating the entire case are not at all buying the claims that Chetan Singh is mentally unfit and therefore he committed this entire crime. There are several allegations by Chetan Singh's advocate and his family members saying that Chetan Singh was mentally unfit. But the police officials who are investigating this case saying that while this crime was committed, Chetan Singh was very much in his consciousness. He did what he wanted to do and he was very well aware about it.
Meanwhile, the Railway Protection Force has issued a press note saying the periodical medical examination conducted by the force detected no medical ailment. The RPF says if Chetan Singh was under medication, then he and his family kept it a secret. With Saurav Bhaktania and Mustafa Sheikh, Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
News coming in right now. Security forces conducted search operations in the vulnerable and fringe areas of Manipur. Joint security forces conducted this operation in the Kotruk Hill Range and destroyed 7 illegal bunkers. Ashutosh is joining us for more on this from Manipur. Ashutosh, what more can you tell us about these illegal bunkers that were in fact demolished by the forces?
Well, in the hilly areas, and we know the hilly areas where you have the Kuki tribe living in, and it is all, be it the valley or the foothills or in the hilly areas, the community members, in the name of Village Defence Force, they have made several bunkers. So after these clashes broke out yesterday, where the state goes on edge, several operations were carrying out, and there have been a massive escalation all over the state, in fact, particularly in the valley areas, where the Manipur state police calls the situation volatile. Several arms and ammunition from 2nd IRP battalions were looted. But in the meanwhile, carrying the operation, in fact, one policeman has also been martyred during the clashes. But this images that you see in this region where the joint operations by the armed forces and the police were carried out to demolish these bunkers, because remember, often the clashes between two communities that is taking place, the firing is only coming from these bunkers, whether they are made in the hill areas or in the valley area. So clearly the first challenge for these armed forces are to destroy these bunkers and to ensure there are no armed personnel, armed civilians or any such elements are sitting there and targeting the civilians towards the other side. So there have been massive, such operations being carried out yesterday, including the appeal have been made to the civilians, those who have looted the arms must surrender it to the police nearby police stations. And these are the specific operations that was carried out in the hilly areas to ensure there are no bunkers should be in the residential areas of several villages in the hilly terrain.
Right. Ashutosh, thank you for joining us with all of those details from Manipur. In fact, fresh clashes erupted in the Bishnupur area on Thursday when Meitei protesters tried to breach the buffer zone. Security forces had to resort to firing in the air and use tear gas. India Today's Ashutosh Mishra was on the ground. Here's his report.
The police is retaliating. Tear shells, look at this. There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired.
For 3 months, Manipur has been on the brink. India Today journalists Ashutosh Mishra and cameraman Sanjay Kumar on Thursday witnessed firsthand how tenuous the deceptive calm on the ground is.
Massive showdown in the conflict areas of Manipur. We are in Bishnupur, and this is where the buffer zone begins. As the ITLF announced mass burial of the Kukis died in the conflict, these Meitei women and the entire community opposing the burial, saying this cannot be done in the Meitei land or the government land. And here is the buffer zone, because there is a massive movement of the community, including the Myra Pipesi women. The Assam Rifles have literally put out a Casper van on the road and blocking both sides and avoiding any confrontation. There you see the Indian Army, Assam Rifles, Rapid Action Forces, and these women have literally come to the bunker area. Now, if I could take you the other side, how the other side looks across the buffer zone from here. These women are even asking the army personnel not make videos. So other side, the Casper van, this is a very long buffer zone has been drawn to avoid confrontation. But the Meitei accuses that the Kukis heavily armed, have taken shelter in nearby bunkers, and that's exactly why you see this massive deployment of the armed forces has been done in this region. So not only the police person, not only the state commando, but also the village defense forces.
Hundreds of people belonging to Meitei community tried to breach the buffer zone created by security forces in Bishnupur. Clashes erupted when the security forces stopped them.
More than 50,000 people are still there in relief camps. They have lost their houses. All the students are losing their academic career. Only one single piece of cloth they are coming in relief camp. They're also not for 1 month, not for 2 months. It's already 3 months.
But this area continue to be a volatile zone. There is often firing reported. Will it be safe for you to stay here?
If it is safe or not, we are ready to face anything now, because we have already waited for 3-4 months waiting for the state government and Indian government to solve the problem. But how many days, how many months still we have to wait for that? We are not able to bear this, because our state government and they all making the drones and all, we are watching that. The cookie are coming freely to our land, but we are not even allowed to enter to our own houses. What is this? Is the cookie the Indians or is Manipuri? We are immigrants. We want to ask this.
The security forces used chili spray and tear gas. And when that did not work, opened fire in the air to contain trouble.
Tear shells, look at this. Number of the massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired. This is the massive confrontation taking place. Stone pelting. This is भारी भरकम गोलीबारी हो रही है और इस आर्मर्ड गाड़ी के पीछे हम रुके हुए हैं. गोलियां चल रही है इस समय यहाँ पे. दरअसल कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. जैसे क्लैश बढ़ा, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स ने महिलाओं को पीछे करने की कोशिश की और यहाँ पे देखिए पुलिस की गोलीबारी हो रही है.
The security forces have created buffer zones separating the Meiteis and Kuki Zomi communities.
As the confrontation takes place, we have been advised to evacuate this area. Mostly the civilians who are unarmed have been asked to go to the safer places. The women, those who were injured, were taken to the hospital in the massive confrontation. And now it is the defense forces and the state forces are heading further to the conflict areas. And we've been asked to leave and quickly evacuate this area who are totally unarmed.
The face-off on Thursday is a grim reminder of the deep divide in Manipur. Bureau Report, India Today.
Slipping into a short break. Coming up next, Araga's burnt and black jibe at Kharge. FIR filed against Araga Yanendra for his comment. Sustain these margins at these levels, and what would your overall outlook be for FY24 on margins?
So we've seen softening of raw material prices both in Q4 and Q1 to that extent. In fact, Q1 saw about a 2% kind of a deflation with respect to raw material prices. So I think the issue of margins is directly correlated in terms of how obviously the raw material prices behave as we kind of go ahead. We are seeing a certain uptick with respect to the crude prices in the recent number of days and weeks to that extent, and also a little bit of a volatility with respect to the rupee dollar kind of positioning. So I think it will all depend in terms of how these things stabilize and what is the definitive trend we see in the next about 4 to 6 weeks in terms of going forward. As of now, we are maintaining our guidance with respect to the PBDIT band of 18 to 20% in terms of what is there. That is definitive for the year in terms of going forward. We are also looking at higher advertising spends and below the line spends to really invigorate the market in Q2 and Q3 going forward. Therefore, at present, I think we are maintaining the band in terms of guidance which we have given earlier with respect to our margins.
Okay. What's the demand trend across, the various industries that you cater to, and the outlook on demand from the festive season going forward from here?
As I said, overall, from the point of view of demand, the project sales, institutional business appears to be strong. I think the whole real estate sector and the construction activity, which will continue to that extent. So therefore, the whole builder business which comes in, or even from the point of view of government spending, given the oncoming general elections next year, I think some of those trends should continue, which would kind of really, continue to kind of rekindle the
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. Former Karnataka Home Minister Arga Yanendra has been booked for making a racist comment against Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge. The FIR has been filed against Arga in Kalaburgi under IPC section 504. Arga has been charged for deliberate contempt and intentional insult. Addressing a BJP protest in Shivamogga district on Monday, Arga had said that people from North Karnataka region have dark complexion and appear burnt due to the scorching heat, giving the example of Mallikarjun Kharge. Arga said Kharge looked a little presentable as his hair protected him from getting fully burnt. Taking objection to his comments, the Congress said it showed the BJP's anti-Dalit sentiments, demanding the resignation of Arga as MLA. Deputy Chief Minister of the state, D.K. Shivkumar, said Arga was mentally ill and needed treatment as he condemned his remarks.
ನಮ್ಮ ದುರದೃಷ್ಟ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗೋದು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ದಿತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮರ ಗಿಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ನೆರಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಟ್ಟು ಕರುಕಲಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಪಾಪ ತಲೆ ಕೂದಲು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವೇ ನೆರಳು ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಅಂತವ್ರು ಮಲೆನಾಡಿನ ಬದುಕು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಪಶ್ಚಿಮ ಘಟ್ಟದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರ ಬದುಕು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟನೆಯನ್ನ
ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂದಿರೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂವರೆಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಪ್ಪಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಿಮಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಾನ್ಸು ಮೊದಲಿಂದನೂ ನಿಮಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನಿಮಾನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸುವಂತ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿ.
Addressing ACC President Mallikarjun Kharge, occupying the highest position in the party, and he dares to evoke this kind of a conflict and hatred is unpardonable. I don't think the government of Karnataka should keep quiet. They will have to file an FIR, register a FIR, immediately proceed to file charge sheet before the court and bring him up under the books of law.
We're slipping into a very short break. Coming up next, India Today tracks down rioters, 10 rioters hiding in Aravali mountains. The police movement is being tracked from the hilltops. Details on the other side.
forecast now. Delhi, maximum 37 and minimum 27 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 26 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 34 and minimum 26 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 27 and minimum 21 degrees. Chennai, maximum 35 and minimum 28 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 29 and minimum 22 degrees.
All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
Hello, a very good morning. You're watching India Today TV. I'm Sneha Mordani. Let's get started with the headlines on this edition first. India Today tracks down rioters, 10 rioters hiding in Aravali mountains. Police movement track from hilltop. Pakistan-based YouTubers spewed venom during riots. Cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts under scanner for hate posts that fanned riots. Over 2,300 videos from June 3rd under scanner. New SP Singla has been transferred. Undeniable proof of villains with India Today. Bajrang Dal workers seen firing, admit to firing in air for self-defense. ASI team begins Gyanvapi mosque survey after court clears the path for the ASI survey. Muslim side boycotts this survey. NCC cadets brutally thrashed in training camp. They made to kneel in water and brutally beaten with sticks. We have some news just coming in. Well, this India controversy, the name of India. This matter has now reached Delhi High Court, with the High Court issuing a notice to center, the Election Commission and the opposition parties who themselves have called themselves the India Bloc. The notice is in fact on a plea seeking to prohibit the use of the word India. The High Court says the case needs to be heard, must hear all sides. Plea in court that has got to do with the opposition parties coming together and naming the political alliance India. the High Court has issued a notice to the centre, to the Election Commission and to the opposition parties in question here, who have themselves decided to call themselves a political bloc of 26 parties, India. The case needs to be heard is what the court has said. The plea, in fact, had got to do with the fact that this is a name that can't be used. It's the name of the country and can't be used for a political alliance, is what was being said. The use of the word India for a political alliance was what was objected to by the petitioner. In this case, this matter is going to be heard by the court. Shrishti has more details on that story. Shrishti, take us through the contention A of the petitioner and what has the court said here?
Well, the petitioner has sought directions to the Union Government and the Election Commission of India to take necessary action to make sure that the INDIA acronym, which is now being used by the alliance of opposition parties, should not be used by them. He's also said that he's already made a representative to the Election Commission of India, complaining about the same and complaining against these opposition parties, but no action has been taken by Election Commission on his complaint. According to this petitioner, the acronym is being used by these political parties with the malicious intent, which will only act in a way where it would diminish the goodwill of our great nation. Now, when the matter was heard today by the Delhi High Court, counsel who was appearing for the petitioner told the court that the matter, it's an important matter and notice should be issued to the parties. The Delhi High Court, the Chief Justice himself of the Delhi High Court has said that it needs to be heard and has thereafter issued notice to Union of India, the Election Commission and all the opposition parties which are part of these alliance. The High Court has sought responses from a total of 29 respondent parties, including the Union, the ECI and the political parties themselves. So as of now, what we know is the Delhi High Court has definitely decided to at least hear the matter. It has said that the matter needs to be heard and it would be an important hearing whenever the matter comes up before the court next, and it will be important to see what the political parties and in fact...
Okay, coming back to you in a moment from now, Shrishti Ojha, we are going straight now in fact to proceedings in Parliament.
The patients are getting online appointments through that another center WC2. सर दूसरा सेंटर से ये सुविधा हो रही है, लेकिन जैसे माननीय सदस्य ने चिंता जताई है कि वो ऑनलाइन फैसिलिटी रिड्यूस हो गई है, तो सेंटर दूसरा जो सेंटर उसे मैनेज कर रहा है सर वो ऑनलाइन के साथ साथ ऑफलाइन भी सेवा दे रहा है, इसीलिए वो ऑनलाइन का रिड्यूस किया गया है। ये जल्द ही WC1 फंक्शनल होगा और सर ज़रूर हम CGHS के सभी लाभार्थियों को सेवा देने के लिए हमारा विजन ही है, द गोल इज़ आवर योर हेल्थ इज़ आवर गोल। ये CGHS के माध्यम से हम दे रहे हैं और आज पूरे भारत में ये सेंटर्स की सुविधा बढ़ाई गई है, जो कि 2014 में सिर्फ हमारे सेंटर्स जो थे सर 25 सिटीज़ में थे, ओनली इन 25 सिटीज़, अभी वो बढ़ा के 80 सिटीज़ में हुए हैं, तो लगभग डबल ये CGHS सेंटर्स बढ़ाए हैं सिटीज़ में। और सर ये सेंटर बढ़ा के एलोपैथी के हो गए हैं 254 से 340, तो मुझे लगता है ये ज़रूर बढ़ाए हैं, तो माननीय सदस्य को भी ये चिंता करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है कि सदस्य को ज़रूर मैं एश्योर्ड करती हूँ कि ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों ही सुविधा पेशेंट को CGHS के माध्यम से मिलेगी। धन्यवाद।
Honorable member, please ask supplementary.
And the reasons for exhausting of online slots within a minute at the midnight zone after the online slots are opened.
Getting in pictures, in fact, from Lok Sabha, where the Minister for Health, in fact, Dr. Bharti Pawar is speaking, but it looks difficult, in fact, even as the Minister is making a statement. That's Dr. Bharti Pawar on the left side of your screen. And on the right side is, these are pictures from the upper house in Raj Sabha, where the chair again is trying to get the house in order. In fact, a lot of drama has been witnessed even yesterday inside Parliament. At least the opposition had decided to, in fact, have a discussion on the issue of Manipur, which the House agreed to. However, it was not done. And the chair, in fact, in Lok Sabha was also upset about the unruly behavior, so-called unruly behavior of the MPs and had not attended, was not a part of the proceedings in the House.
Is laid on the table of the House, sir.
As far as the Raj Sabha is concerned,
Sir, धन्यवाद.
the chair in fact had indicated that the House must function and that the chair is not there to defend the Prime Minister, but the decorum of the House must be maintained. However, yet another stormy session, yet another day of what it appears is going to be no business in the House. Amit Bhardwaj has more on that. Amit, in fact, the opposition had also climbed down from its position in terms of the rules for the discussion on Manipur, yet the House didn't really function, isn't it? The ruckus continues. Of course, the Delhi Services Bill was passed in Lok Sabha yesterday.
Right, Sneha, you know, what we have seen ever since this monsoon session has begun, that the opposition parties have been demanding the Prime Minister to come on the floor of the House and address the House on the situation of Manipur. After that, yesterday we had seen some sort of negotiation and conversation between the Treasury benches and the opposition benches as well. Especially in the Rajya Sabha, the chairperson had tried to bargain peace so that the proceedings in the House can be carried out peacefully. On the other side, you had Lok Sabha proceedings yesterday where the Delhi Services Bill was presented. The discussion over the Delhi Services Bill took place and it was later on passed as well. And during that particular discussion, what we saw that the House circumstances were completely different. The opposition parties were continuously and actively participating in the debate and they were raising their issues. But now that the Delhi Services Bill has gotten a green flag from Lok Sabha, what is expected is that opposition parties will be again back to the strategy of protesting, of demanding the government to speak on the issue of Manipur, the violence that has unfolded in Manipur. Yesterday, however, there's negotiation going on between the Treasury benches and the opposition benches,
yes,
as in Rajya Sabha as well. The chairperson had said that what opposition is demanding is discussion under 267. But the chair is saying the discussion should be carried out under Rule 176. So we have to see whether the peace is restored and the proceedings can go on smoothly henceforth.
All right.
Back to you, Sneha.
Thanking you for the moment. That's what, in fact, was said by the opposition. A discussion under Rule 167 is what we agreed to. So there was a climb down from the position. However, these are pictures that you see of ruckus continuing in the House. I mean, thanking you for the moment. Days after violent clashes erupted in several districts of Haryana, the situation remains tense in the state. Let's take a look at all the top developments. One of the main accused of fueling the new riots, Bajrangi Ashok, was seen open firing in the air on camera on the day of the new violence. The Bajrang Dal worker admitted firing in the air and said that he was doing it in self-defense as 4 people were shot in front of him. Now authorities in Haryana are cracking down on hate posts which have escalated the violence in the state. The police have filed 3 FIRs against the hate post. Officers are scanning several other social media accounts that fueled the riots. Bittu Bajrangi, one of the main accused of inciting riots in Nu, has been booked. An FIR has been registered against him. The FIR gives details of how the video of Bittu Bajrangi is widely circulated on social media to incite religious violence. After the massive riots in Nu that shook the entire nation, Nu's top cop Varun Singla has been transferred. The police superintendent was on leave when the riots took place. Gurugram was the other Haryana district impacted by the violent clashes. Taking a preventive measure, the authorities in Gurugram have beefed up security outside the mosque near Rajiv Chowk ahead of Friday prayers. India Today investigation sets new agenda. India Today has accessed videos that show how stones are pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Amid the serene beauty of the Aravali hills in Haryana's Nu, our investigation reveals that 500 residents were hiding in mountains and cops movement was being tracked from the hilltop. Not only this, the Sarpanch admits few rioters have fled. Locals also confirmed that they were hiding in hills due to fear of cops. Our investigation takes you to those hills right just outside Nu, from where the first stones flew, from the firing spot to the hiding place. India Today goes where nobody has dared to go. India Today investigation has revealed there was intelligence failure, inadequate policing, calls for violence given on social media, and rioters' hill hideout exposed. A spotlight now is on the Khattar government. Will they act upon this? Shreya now is getting us more details on that story. Shreya continues to join us from Nu in Haryana. Shreya, talk to us a little about the current situation right now in this area, given the days, just the days of violence that Nu and the surrounding districts of Haryana have seen.
Sneha, I will give you the current visuals from Nu. You can see that RAF is right now going to carry forward a flag march. Today is Friday. Remember, there has been an understanding, and the Friday namaz will now be offered in the respective homes to ensure no more tensions. This is the preparation on the ground. I'm getting you live visuals of the RAF team, which is on standby. Any moment they will be carrying their flag march from Nu Chowk to ensure that nobody can fan further communal tensions. The Haryana police is right now up its ante. They are cracking down on every individual. The arrests have also increased to 145. There are FIRs that are registered, and we also know the social media crackdown subsequently is also under its way. Amidst this, the latest visuals coming in from Nu is that of a flag march that is going to start any moment. I'll ask my cameraman to cut full frame to the RAF team that is on standby. Any moment the flag march will now begin, Sneha.
Yes, that's right. What about the people living in this area? The shops that are closed, people continue to work from home in many parts of Haryana. When can they expect some normalcy to return, given that the security forces are on standby, as we see clearly in these pictures, and nobody really is taking any chances, Shreya?
Well, Sneha, right now, if we talk about normalcy, yes, we are yet to see the situation completely go back to normal, despite some restriction, the relaxation on restrictions as well. People are not opening their shops. Today also, after 4 to 5, there is a period of relaxation that's been announced by the district, but we are not seeing anyone opening the shop. There is tension still there in Nu. They are slowly creeping back to normalcy, but today, since it's the day of Friday, we know that Friday namaz will not be offered in the respective mosques. It will be now offered in the masjids. The Imam of the Bara Masjid has made this announcement that everyone stay indoors and offer your Friday namaz. Amidst that, the entire preparation to ensure nothing spirals out of hand. Visuals on your screen, RAF on standby, flag march to happen. This is the present situation on the ground. Even when Nu is creeping back to normalcy, there is high alert on the part of the administration now to ensure no more untoward incident is repeated in Nu.
I'm going to thank you, Shreya, for getting us up to speed with that. Shreya is at Nu, where there is a flag march which is almost now about to start. But security forces, in fact, are not taking any chances, and the situation right now is calm, but it continues to be, in fact, under surveillance. I mean, this area continues to be under surveillance. Now, India Today's exclusive footage has unveiled tense situation on the top of the Aravali ranges. Our channel deployed a drone to bring you an extraordinary perspective of the violence at Nu. Here's a detailed report.
देखिए वहाँ जो बैठे हुए हैं, खड़े हुए हैं, वहाँ मेरे भाई हैं।
India Today locates them uphill.
ये मेरे भैया डोल रहा है यहाँ। ये कोई टेररिस्ट नहीं है, सिर्फ अपनी जान बचाने छुपे हुए हैं जी।
Young men perched atop the mountains. Village women carrying jerry cans trek upward.
खाना हाँ पहाड़ ले जा रहा भाई ग्वाला हम तो प्राण लो
पहाड़ पे
हाँ
छुपे हुए हैं
हाँ
ये क्या खाना पानी लेके जा रहे हैं
हाँ
अच्छा और भी लोग हैं ऊपर
हाँ
We deploy a drone. India today took to the skies, navigating the rugged terrain to bring you an extraordinary perspective. The rolling hills, cloaked in lush greenery, stretching endlessly. Our lens settles on surreal sights. A hideaway of villagers of Noor district fearing crackdown. And a hideout of suspected rioters mingling with them to escape arrest. India Today's watchful eye reveals a trail of individuals trudging up with their belongings in tow. Cots on their heads, household items in possession. As the drone soars, it captures the scale of this makeshift exodus. Clusters of people dot the landscape. These are not leisurely explorers. Among these elderly villagers and women are suspected troublemakers.
सुबह में और शाम में दोनों टाइम और दोपहर में पुलिस का राउंड लगता है इसीलिए पहाड़ पे रहते हैं लोग यहाँ पे पुलिस उठा कर ले जाती है बेकसूर लोगों को भी खाना वाना कुछ नहीं खाया खाना वाने का कोई इंतजाम ही नहीं है
India Today's exclusive endeavor reveals a complex narrative of fear and defiance etched on the canvas of the Aravali hills. With Arvind Oja in New, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, in fact, we have some details just coming in as far as No is concerned. The flag march also has just started. However, we have pictures of bulldozer justice in the state of Haryana post riots. Pictures first on your screen from No in Haryana, Vishwa these are pictures of the flag march which has just started. Also, we're getting an information and we'll go straight to that as well in a few moments from now of illegal encroachments. First of all, these pictures of the flag march at Nu, where there is, in fact, the situation continues to be, at the moment at least, calm. However, nobody taking any chances. The RAF conducting flag marches. These are live pictures. And right now, pictures on your screen are of bulldozers being used to raise illegal encroachments. First of all, illegal encroachments are being bulldozed. That's on the left side of your screen. And these are pictures on the right side of violence that had taken place earlier. The flag march has also started in Nu. These are pictures from earlier on the right side from earlier. This week when riots had taken place. Right now there are illegal encroachments that are getting bulldozed by the authorities. Once again, bulldozer justice in Haryana after the riots. Illegal encroachments bulldozed by cops. We go now straight to these pictures of the flag march. And Shreya is there with me. Shreya, over to you. Explain to us what you really see around you.
Sneha, you can see the flag march is being conducted in Nu right now. This is Nu Chowk, one of the main points that saw heightened communal violence. Right now, the RAF has been deployed. The police is conducting a flag march. As you can see the visuals on the ground, the senior officials are over here constantly monitoring the situation on the ground. There is deployment on the part of riot vehicles, every preparedness to ensure today nothing spirals out of hand. Important to point it out, Sneha, that today the Friday namaz has also been unanimously agreed that it will be offered inside the residence. The Imam of the Bari Masjid has given the notification that everyone should stay indoors. Amidst that, to ensure nothing spirals out of of hand. These are the visuals we are getting you on your screens from New Chowk, where the RAF is deployed. They are conducting a flag march. They will go every point and corner to ensure that people also feel safe, and B, the miscreants get a message that they do not come out of their residence to fan the communal tension anymore. This is the New Chowk. Once again, for our viewers, I wanted to point it out. One of the main areas where violence had erupted. From here, we know how things spiral out of hand, and this is the very place where you see the RAF, as it has been deployed, is conducting a flag march. Sneha.
RAF conducting a flag march. Meanwhile, the police, those responsible for the law and order situation in Nu have faced the axe in a way, Shreya. Many of them, in fact, have been transferred. Action has been taken against police officers for failing in their duties to control the law and order situation in this area, isn't it?
Well, yes, absolutely, Sneha. We do know that the SP Nu, Varun Singla, has been transferred to Bhiwani, and Narendra Bijrania, who is the Bhiwani SP, who was given the additional charge on his absence. Now he has been made the SP of Nu. That has been the transfer so far as the Nu SP is concerned. And police is also taking serious action, especially on social media. India Today has extensively reported on the role played by social media, especially on the entire situation, because remember, social media posts were used to fan tension in the Nu, and that's the reason there are multiple FIRs. There are names of people against whom FIRs have been raised. That includes Adil, that includes Sahil, that includes Bittu Bajrangi. So we have those names on India Today, and right now as we talk, to ensure anything doesn't spiral out of hand anymore, this is the main Nu Chowk. Once again, for our viewers, this is the place which had seen heightened communal tension, and now we are getting you the visuals of a flag march that is currently under its way by the RAF.
Shreya, we'll come back to you in a moment from now. Shreya is getting asked those pictures and those details from Nu. The flag march there has started. We'll continue to keep a very close eye on all of those developments. For the moment, it's time for a break. On the other side, cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts are under scanner for hate posts and fan riots. Over 2,300 videos from 31st of July are under scanner.
You are watching India Today.
India Today is at ground zero in Torbang, and the situation is so vulnerable. Simultaneously, there is accusation of using sophisticated weapons, but these young boys risking their lives and using these single barrel gun and double barrel gun.
We love our land and our village. That's why we sacrifice our life.
No one could ever imagine that in a state, in the same country, in the same district, we will ever see such situation which has become a battlefield. And I could say this is a war zone in Manipur.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, only on India Today TV.
Diet sodas, sugar-free tablets, artificial sweeteners. Do all of these give you a sense of assurance that you are staying away from sugar and that these are healthy alternatives? Well, it is not that simplistic as you think it is. Each of these artificial sources of sugar are unhealthy. Let us break this down for you. Diet soda is a go-to for people who love the taste of regular soda but can do without the sugar and calories. An average can of regular cola may contain a whopping 37 grams of sugar, and consuming too much sugar is linked to outcomes like obesity and poor heart health. So it makes sense that you may seek out a sugar-free alternative. But while drinking diet soda does help people reduce their sugar intake, this simple act can also expose a person to other ingredients that may be linked to some other health problems. The acidity in certain types of soda can lead to tooth erosion. Drinking excessive amounts of diet soda made with caramel coloring may result in teeth turning yellow. Some research suggests that artificially sweetened drinks are associated with a greater risk of obesity. If you opt for diet soda that contains caffeine, you may have trouble getting some much needed shut-eye at night. Diet soda is void of calories and sugar. Certain varieties can contain phosphorus in the form of phosphoric acid. This mineral, though important, can play a positive role in bone health, but consuming copious amounts of phosphorus can negatively impact the calcium-phosphorus ratio in your body.
When the sugar increases in the blood, that means when the blood glucose increases, then it leads to many comorbidities like obesity, diabetes, fatty liver, then risk of cancer, heart attack also increases. There are mood alteration leading to irritability, then there's sleep disorder, and many more things can happen.
Every time I download an app, it seeks a host of permissions, and there is very little option but for me to say yes. That app is necessary. It may be a free or paid service, and it's critical to the digital lifestyle that so many Indians lead. Does this bill do anything, at least the proposals, to make life easier in such a scenario?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to be giving you a bit of a contrary position from my two co-speakers. To my mind, the bill, and in fact, in significant variation from the draft, the bill actually creates a far more granular regime where data principals or individuals are empowered. Let me use your example because I think it's a great example. When I download an application or I say subscribe for a service, maybe that's easier. When I subscribe for a service, now I will get a much clearer, transparent, easily intelligible notice in any one of the 22 languages which are specified in the Constitution. I will then have the ability to, I will need to understand that notice clearly and provide a clear consent. There are going to be rules around how notice will be provided and so on and so forth. But fundamentally, I will have to provide a clear consent for my data to be processed. The second thing that this new version does, which is a little different from the previous one, is even if I have provided consent for a particular purpose, and that purpose is not necessary for the underlying service, there is language in this bill which may restrict the person from using it. So fundamentally, to Dr. Napanai's point, if I provide consent for service A and it's actually something that's unnecessary for that service, there is an inherent limitation on them using it. Number 3, when something is no longer necessary for the purposes of providing that service to me, they are now under a clear obligation to delete that data. Number 4, as a data subject, I now have a dedicated authority, which is the Data Protection Board, to whom I can go and file a complaint saying that fundamentally this doesn't meet my requirements. They have not dealt with my data in a manner that I had consented to. Number 5, there is a strong set of fines which have been proposed, going up to 250 crores for a violation. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, there's a new provision which allows the government, if you have multiple breaches, to actually block your service and say that you will not be allowed to access systems that you need to provide goods and services in India. So to my mind, it does creates a fundamental new culture around how data will be collected, stored and processed. Yes, the concerns which, there are concerns perhaps with the language, perhaps things can improve, and this bill will go through the process in Parliament. But I would actually take a contrary position and say this bill is far better than the current position on the ground today. And overall, it is going to have the effect of empowering individuals in India.
You are watching India Today.
getting in pictures, in fact, both from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, where in fact ruckus is being seen. The lower house, the Lok Sabha, has been adjourned up until noon today. And proceedings in Rajya Sabha continues. However, sloganeering in the house.
For as much time as the house wants to discuss. The house will meet at 12 noon.
We're getting proceedings. In fact, Rajya Sabha has been adjourned as well. Lok Sabha adjourned till noon and the Rajya Sabha has been adjourned as well. Remember, sloganeering continues inside the house. There has been a bit of a climb down in the position of the opposition. From rule number 267, they have decided to discuss the issue of Manipur under rule number 167. However, we've seen proceedings of the house in fact, the proceedings of the house get disrupted. Both houses, once again, with both houses being adjourned. Going back to developments from Haryana, and we are telling you all about Nu. The police have intensified the probe in the Nu violence case. The police suspect the riots were planned after several arrested accused confessed that they joined the Shobha Yatra on the 31st of July to spark violence. Sources have told India Today that accused have confessed to firing illegal weapons, using illegal weapons by joining the crowd. Also, they've confessed to using bricks, stones, sticks to attack the police and the crowd. They've confessed to hiding the weapons after the violence. They said several of the rioters were hiding in the hills of Mewat, besides Jaipur, Udaipur in Rajasthan, Meerut, Agra, Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh. 10 FIRs have been registered against social media accounts, fanning tensions. But the police have said indecent and communally charged posts were made on the day of the violence. Close to 2,300 violence fanning videos were posted on social media, are now under scanner. There's been a crackdown on illegal encroachments of Rohingyas and illegal infiltrators as well, who were reportedly part of the riots that took place in Nu. Shreya's in Nu getting us those details. Shreya, in fact, a few moments ago, you were getting us the pictures of the flag march. Give us a sense of what's really happening right now. In fact, Bittu Bajrangi is also now joining us. Bittu Bajrangi, मैं पूछना चाहूँगी इस समय आप कहाँ पर हैं, क्योंकि कई सारी बातें कही जा रही है इस वायलेंस को लेके, सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट को लेके।
मैं अभी सबसे पहले तो मैं आपका धन्यवाद नमस्कार करता हूँ और मैं अभी अपने घर पे हूँ। जी,
पुलिस ने आपसे बातचीत की है, आपको रीच आउट किया है, क्योंकि कई सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो इस आपके संस्था के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं जिनका नाम इस पर आया है।
पुलिस ने मुझे अरेस्ट किया था
जी,
और मेरे खिलाफ मुकदमा दर्ज भी किया था परसों, और मुझे कोर्ट से जमानत मिल गई।
जी, इसके बाद पुलिस के साथ कोई बातचीत, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टिगेशंस इस मामले में जारी है।
हाँ, तो वो सब जो पुलिस ने पूछा, मैंने जो पूछना था मैंने पुलिस को बता दिया, क्राइम ब्रांच वालों को।
ये कहा जा रहा है कि आपके संस्था के मेंबर्स का इस पर इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
कौन सी संस्था का नाम बताएं?
जी, आपकी जो बजरंग फोर्स का जो लोग हैं उनका इन्वॉल्वमेंट है। दोनों तरफ से एलिगेशंस है कि आप लोग वेपन्स भी कैरी कर रहे थे, ये इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
वेपन अगर हमारे पास है तो दिखाएं, सबूत दिखाएं, फोटो दिखाएं, वीडियो दिखाएं। आज तक वेपन के नाम पे तो हमारे पास चाकू भी नहीं है। अब दूसरे के लोगों को कहने से क्या है, हमारे पास कुछ दिखाएं, कुछ वेपन है तो हमारे बजरंग फोर्स पे या मेरे किसी कार्यकर्ता पे दिखाएं कुछ भी। आज तक कुछ भी चीज हमारे साथ कोई, हमारे हाथ में कुछ अवैध हथियार कोई चीज कभी भी भविष्य में हो तो दिखाएं हमको।
नहीं, हथियार तो आप कैरी करते ही हैं, तलवार तो आप कैरी करते ही हैं।
अच्छा, तैयारी, ये कौन सी बात है तैयारी करते हैं?
नहीं, तलवार, मैंने कहा तलवार तो आप कैरी करते हैं, तलवार तो आप कैरी करते हैं। जी,
हम कोई हथियार लेके थोड़ी गए थे मैडम, जैसे आप कह रहे हो कि आप तैयारी करते हैं।
नहीं, मैंने कहा आप तलवार कैरी करते हैं, आप तलवार रखते हैं अपने साथ, मैं ये कह रही थी।
नहीं जी मैडम, नहीं रखता।
देखिए जी,
एक मिनट मैडम, दशहरा पे हम शस्त्र पूजन करते हैं और वो उसके बाद हम अपने साथ तलवार नहीं रखते।
मैं पूछना चाहूंगी आपसे ये पूरे मामले के बारे में। ये कहा जा रहा है कि शुरू हुई थी उन लोगों के साथ में जो कि काव विजिलेंटिज्म में इन्वॉल्व हैं, गौ रक्षक के नाम पर ये वायलेंस करते हैं, ये सारी बातें कही जा रही हैं। ये इन्वेस्टिगेशंस तो चल ही रहा है, लेकिन इस एलिगेशंस के बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
गौ रक्षक के नाम पर तो दुनिया जो विरोधी हैं और जो गो दुश्मन है उनको तो हम ऊपर इल्जाम लगाते ही लगाते हैं कि ये गोरक्षा की आड़ में करते हैं। हमने आज तक कभी भी जितने गोरक्षक हैं या मैं अपनी कहूँ मैं पर्सनल में आज तक कोई ऐसा अनैतिक कार्य नहीं किया जिससे कि सनातन धर्म और हिंदू भाई को किसी को नीचा दिखना पड़े।
Alright, let's also ask him another question. बिट्टू बजरंगी, हमें ये बताइए, सबसे बड़ा सवाल आप पे उठ रहा है कि आपके वीडियो की वजह से दंगा हुआ है, क्योंकि आपने ये वीडियो दिया कि गोली पर गोली चलेगी जिसपे म्यूजिक चल रहा था, उससे लोग भड़क गए, उस वजह से दंगा हुआ है। बिट्टू बजरंगी,
मेरा जो स्टेटस था वो आधे घंटे पहले का था। क्या इस स्टेटस से एक गाने का सॉन्ग मैंने लगा दिया? क्या इससे जो 15 दिन पहले की तैयारी थी, क्या वो आधे घंटे में मेरे स्टेटस लगाते ही सारे तैयार खड़े थे, सब चीज लेके, सब चीज व्यवस्था लेके खड़े थे? क्या हो?
क्यों ऐसा वीडियो आप चलाएंगे, लाइव स्ट्रीम करेंगे जिसमें लिखा होगा या जिसमें ऐसा गाना होगा गोली पर गोली चलेगी? ये तो भड़काऊ वीडियो माना जा रहा है बिट्टू बजरंगी।
अच्छा, तो उनको लगा हुआ है भड़काऊ? मैं तो अन्य कभी भी कहीं जैसे लगाता रहता हूँ, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? वो जितने भी नांगलोई में है और अपना बिहार में है, बंगाल में, यानी कि मेरी वीडियो से दंगे हो रहे हैं हर जगह।
आपने आपके वीडियो में तो काफी भड़काऊ जब मैसेजेस दिया, आपने ऐसा भी कुछ कहा आपका जीजा आ रहा है वहां पर, तैयार रहो, ऐसे मैसेजेस। यात्रा थी ये तो बहुत बढ़िया शोभा यात्रा थी जो हर साल होती है। ऐसे मैसेज उस गांव में क्यों देंगे जहां मुसलमान रहते हैं?
मेरे पास स्क्रीनशॉट है, वीडियो है, रिकॉर्डिंग है जो मैंने क्राइम ब्रांच को उपलब्ध करवा दी है। मेरे को धमकी दे रहे थे, मैं सभी के लिए नहीं होता, जिन्होंने मुझे गालियां दी और मेरे साथ धमकी दी और जिन लोगों ने मुझे काटने मारने की बात बोली, ये उनके लिए था, ना कि सभी के लिए।
आपके अगेंस्ट जो क्रिटिसिज्म है कि आप पे अब एफआईआर हुई है, अब आप जेल जाएंगे, आपकी वजह से दंगा हुआ है, ये एलिगेशन है आप पर कि ऐसे भड़काऊ मैसेजेस की वजह से ही और लोग आ गए थे वहां पर।
अच्छा, वो 15 दिन की तैयारी थी, आधे घंटे में कोई तैयारी नहीं होती। 15 दिन से वो अपनी मीटिंग कर रहे थे, बैठक कर रहे थे कि मोनू माने सर बिट्टू बजरंगी आएंगे,
ये सारे
करेंगे। वो किसी को नहीं दिखाई दिया।
हमारे साथ श्रेया भी मौजूद है। श्रेया, गो अहेड, यू कैन ऑन द ग्राउंड।
एक मेव आर्मी बनाई 4 दिन पहले, वो किसी को नहीं दिखाई दिया। खान ने बोला टुकड़ा टुकड़ा करेंगे, ये किसी को नहीं दिखाई दिया।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप यात्रा में मौजूद होके लाइव कर रहे थे, आप इसके बारे में क्या कहेंगे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपने सिर्फ पहले वीडियो नहीं किया था, आप यात्रा में मौजूद थे, यात्रा में मौजूद होके आप लाइव कर रहे थे, आप लोगों को चुनौती दे रहे थे। जब इसके बाद दंगे भड़के, क्या आप माफी मांगेंगे? अब आपके खिलाफ एफआईआर भी हो चुका है, सिर्फ वीडियो नहीं है, आप यात्रा में भी मौजूद थे।
तो यात्रा में कोई मैं मना तो नहीं कर रहा? क्या जलाभिषेक करना, पूजा करना, भोले बाबा के दर्शन करना, मैं मना नहीं कर रहा, मैं यात्रा में नहीं था। क्या ये पाप है? हमारे हिंदुस्तान में हिंदू धर्म में रहते हुए लोग अपने भगवान की पूजा नहीं करेंगे?
लाइव करके चुनौती क्यों दे रहे थे?
जी
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, पूजा करना आपका हक है, हर किसी का हक है, लेकिन आप लाइव करके, यात्रा से लाइव करके आप चुनौती क्यों दे रहे थे कि मैं अपना लोकेशन शेयर कर रहा हूं, आप आइए? ये चुनौती
मेरे
आपकी
पास
तरफ से क्यों दी जा रही थी?
मेरे पास आइए, अभी भी मेरे को धमकी आ रही है मारने काटने की, ये उनके लिए है, ये उनके लिए था जो मुझे मारने काटने की अब शब्द गंदी गाली दे रहे हैं।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, बिट्टू बजरंगी आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, सोशल मीडिया पर आप भड़काऊ वीडियोस डालते हैं, आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, अगर आपके पास धमकी आई थी तो
साक्ष्य आप पूरे अपने पास रख लेना, मैं आपको उपलब्ध करवा दूंगा, सारे सबूत आपको दूंगा, उसको भी चलाओ कि उन्होंने क्या बोला।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे? अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे क्योंकि पुलिस ने
माफी
दर्ज
मोहम्मद
किया
खान
है।
को माननी
पुलिस का
चाहिए।
कहना है कि
मोहम्मद खान को, जाबिर घाटमिका को,
आप नहीं
अफ्तार
मांगेंगे
अहमद को, जिन्होंने मेवात में दंगे करे, घर जलाए, हमारी माताओं बहनों पर अत्याचार किया,
बजरंगी जी
बाइकें
अभी भी
लूटी,
आप माफी
बस
मांगेंगे
जलाई,
या नहीं
हमारे
मांगेंगे?
2 जवान शहीद हुए और हमारी बच्चों पे
बिट्टू
अत्याचार
बजरंगी
हुआ।
जी आपके
उनको
खिलाफ
माफी
भी
मांगनी
FIR
चाहिए।
है,
जो
क्या
दंगाई
आप
है,
माफी
जो
मांगेंगे?
आतंकवादी हैं, उनको माफी मांगनी चाहिए। हम तो सनातनी हैं,
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी
कानून
आपके
पर,
खिलाफ
संविधान
भी
पर
FIR
विश्वास
है।
रखते हैं।
आपके
और
खिलाफ
अभी
भी
हम
FIR
कानून
है।
से बेल
अभी
लेकर
आप
कोर्ट
क्या
में जमानत
मांगेंगे
मिल गई,
माफी?
हम अपने अभी घर पे हैं और वो घर पे अपने घर से क्यों भागे घूम रहे हैं? कानून के सामने जाए, पेश होए।
आप चुनौती अगर
वो
ना
अपने घर से
देते,
भागकर छुपे हुए पुलिस से क्यों भाग रहे हैं? सामने आए हो।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपने आग में घी डालने का काम किया है। आप कहते हैं कि मुझे थ्रेट्स आए थे, मुझे धमकी दी जा रही थी, तो आप पुलिस के पास जा सकते थे। आपने क्या किया? आपने भी इस तरह के भड़काऊ वीडियोस डाले, इस तरीके से आपने आग में घी डालने का काम किया।
जिन्होंने आग में घी डाला वो 4 दिन पहले, 5 दिन पहले कह रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे, वो किसी को नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, ना किसी को कोई दिखा रहा कि क्यों उन्होंने धमकी दी है कि मोनू माने से बिट्टू बजरंगी आएंगे। खुलेआम यूट्यूबर पे न्यूज चल रही है कि अगर आके दिखाओ माहौल खराब कर देंगे हम मेवात का।
आप पुलिस के पास जाते,
मैंने तो आधे घंटे पहले वीडियो को, मेरी वीडियो को आधे घंटे पहले वीडियो को अपना वो दोस्त ढकने के लिए, मेरे पास दोस्त मर रहे हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने जो ये आतंक फैलाया है और ये ISI का भी इसमें पीछे हाथ हो सकता है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको अगर धमकी दी गई थी तो आपने भी तो प्रवोक किया। आप पुलिस के पास जा सकते थे।
हमारे गृह मंत्री अनिल विज लग रहे हैं, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होगा और सब आपके सामने आप दोबारा चलाओगे कि किस किस का हाथ है इसमें, किस किस ने इसमें आतंक में हथियार उपलब्ध करवाए। हम तो वहाँ पे जलभिषेक करने थे अपने बच्चों के साथ, अपनी बहन बेटियों के साथ, हम दंगा करने नहीं गए थे। कोई अपनी फैमिली के साथ वहाँ पे लड़ाई करने को जाता है, कोई
बिट्टू बजरंगी, सबके सबूत चल रहे हैं हमारे चैनल पर, सबके सबूत चल रहे हैं, लेकिन सवाल ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं आज ये लग रहा है कि हिंदुओं का नाम खराब कर रहे हैं। आपका जो वीडियो था, वो जो वीडियो आपने निकाला एक शोभा यात्रा थी, उसमें ऐसे वीडियो का तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता है, वो तो शोभा यात्रा थी, उसमें ये क्या क्यों कहना जरूरी था गोली पे गोली चलेगी, तुम्हारा जीजा आ रहा है, तैयार रहो।
आप गोली पे गोली स्टेटस था वो, हम तो वहाँ पे एक चाकू भी नहीं ले गए। स्टेटस लगाए, सरकार से बोल दो सारे स्टेटस बंद कर दे।
तो आप कह रहे हो कि मुस्लिम एक्सट्रीमिस्ट रेडी थे, उन्होंने वो पहले से प्लान करके रेडी थे, ऐसा क्यों कहोगे आप? ये क्या सबूत है आपके पास?
15 दिन से तैयारी चल रही थी और मैं क्या बताऊं, मेरा फोन एक ही है, मैं दिखा दूंगा आपको। एक बार आपसे प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट है, आप मेरे घर पे आइए, सारे साक्ष्य दूंगा, सबूत दूंगा, यानी कि बोलना
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, हमें आपसे एक बहुत सिंपल सवाल है।
सारे सबूत दे दिए, सारे फोन नंबर प्रोवाइड करवा दिए जिन से मुझे धमकी आई है, और वो घर से भागे डोल रहे हैं।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है।
घर पे बैठा हूँ,
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है।
हम तो सनातन धर्म है, चींटी मर जाती है उस पर भी पाप समझते हैं, नरसंहार वाले आदमी नहीं है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी,
ब्रिज भूमि को पाकिस्तान बनाने की साजिश रच रखी है, वो सरकार किसी भी कीमत पे पाकिस्तान नहीं बनने देगी।
बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है,
सभी सनातनी भाई ब्रिज भूमि को पाकिस्तान नहीं बनने देंगे।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है। आप लोग यहाँ पे जल अभिषेक करने आए थे, वो बिल्कुल जायज है, लेकिन एक जल अभिषेक, एक भगवान की आराधना में हथियार की क्या, एक सेकंड, हथियार की क्या रोल थी? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, हथियार क्यों थे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, वीडियोस है कि जो यात्रा में भी थे उनके पास भी हथियार थे, एक आराधना में हथियार का क्या काम है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी?
बिट्टू बजरंगी के पास, ना बिट्टू बजरंगी की टीम के पास कोई हथियार नहीं। दिखाओ मुझे एक बार लाइव, दिखाओ मुझे
यात्रा में हथियार था या नहीं?
मेरे पास ना हथियार था, ना मेरी यात्रा में हथियार था, ना मुझे संज्ञान में। ये
आप वीडियो है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी की यात्रा में हथियार लाए गए थे। सिंपल सवाल है, क्या आप मानते हो कि भगवान की आराधना में, भगवान की पूजा में, क्या भगवान की पूजा में हथियार का कोई हिस्सा है?
दिखाओ ना मेरे को, मेरे पास का हथियार थे, दिखाओ तो सही। बोलने से क्या होता है मैडम जी?
बिट्टू बजरंगी, एक सवाल और है आपसे।
हथियार थे, मुझे ये दिखाओ।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, गोली पे गोली चलेगी, इस गाने का क्या मतलब है?
अच्छा, हमारा बोलने से गोली पे गोली चलेगी, उन्होंने तो गोली चला के दिखा दी। उन्होंने
मतलब
हत्याएं करके
तो
दिखा
अगर
दी।
वो गलत है तो आप भी गलत करेंगे, मतलब इसका क्या
गलत तो
मतलब है?
वो-
ये
गलत
भड़काओ,
वो है।
मैंने आपसे पहले भी
गलत
कहा
वो है, हम
कि
गलत
आपने
नहीं है।
आग में घी डालने का
गलत
काम
वो
किया
है।
है।
और उन्होंने बता दिया हथियार क्या होते हैं। हमें तो अब मालूम पड़ा है हथियार क्या होते हैं। हम तो लाठी डंडे जिससे कुत्ते भगाते थे उसको हथियार समझते थे। मीडिया वाले भी कहते हैं हथियार होता है। हमें तो हथियार 31 तारीख को जब पूजा करी, हमारे ऊपर गोलियां चली, हमें जब मालूम पड़ा हथियार क्या होता है।
आपने ये गाना क्यों डाला?
हमें हथियार क्या होता है।
आपने ये
उन्होंने
वीडियो
बताया
में
हमें,
क्यों,
दिखा
इस
दिया।
गाने का क्या मतलब है? ये इस सवाल का
हमारी
जवाब
ममता
दीजिए।
सिंह तो मैडम थी आईजी वहाँ की, अगर वो 5 मिनट पहले नहीं आती तो नरसंहार होता।
इस
और एक दिन
वीडियो
ऐसा
का
आएगा मैडम
इस
जी,
वीडियो का क्या मतलब है? इस गाने का क्या मतलब है?
अगर
गोली पे
धर्म नहीं
गोली
रहेगा ना,
चलेगी, इसका क्या
कुछ
मतलब
नहीं
है?
रहेगा। खबर बनाने वालों की भी खबर बनेगी एक दिन। ये कौम
बिट्टू
ऐसी है,
बजरंगी,
दारू में
खबर
देवबंद
बनाने वालों की तो खबर बनेगी, वो बात
फतवा
ठीक है।
जारी होगा,
आप कह रहे हैं,
फतवा जारी
अच्छा
होगा।
चलिए, आप कह रहे हैं पाकिस्तान बन जाएगा, वो पाकिस्तान आप रोक रहे थे, पर बिट्टू बजरंगी वो आपका काम नहीं है। पाकिस्तान ना बने ब्रजभूमि पे, ये सरकार का काम है रोकने का। आप थोड़ी ना रोकेंगे, आप सरकार को बोलेंगे, आप खुद थोड़ी ना निकल जाएंगे गोली पे गोली लेकर।
हमारा सनातन पे मैंने न्याय दिलाया है। फवाद में आओ, कितनी लड़कियां जो मुस्लिम लड़कियां हैं उनको भी मैंने न्याय दिलाया है। एक बार आओ में, जब मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको कितनी मुस्लिम लड़कियों की मैंने जान बचाई है।
आप कह रहे हैं आपने बचाया है, आप कह रहे हैं आप बचा रहे हैं वहाँ पे।
बचाया है, मामला दर्ज करवाए। मैं आपको लाइव दिखा सकता हूँ, आप मुझे टाइम बता देना, मैं लाइव दिखाऊंगा कितने मुस्लिम लड़कियों की मैंने जान बचाई है। सिर्फ ये नहीं, सनातन धर्म कहता है सभी हिंदू बहन बेटी सभी अपनी धर्म की बेटी है, तो दूसरे जो धर्म की बेटी है वो भी अपनी बेटी है।
आप अगर बचाने के लिए भी हथियार ला रहे हैं तो वो हथियार कैसे आ रहे हैं? ये हथियार लाइसेंस तो नहीं है, इलीगल हथियार हैं। कैसे हथियार लेकर आप बैठे हैं अपने पास? ये तो अलाउड नहीं है।
मेरे पास हथियार दिखा दो, और हथियार है तो पुलिस अपना काम करेगी। मेरे पास क्या हथियार है दिखा दो मेरे को एक बार, पुलिस अपना काम करेगी। फिर
बिट्टू बजरंगी, वहाँ पे जो लोग थे जो दंगा कर रहे थे उनके हाथों में बंदूकें दिख रही हैं, और वो कहा जा रहा है कि वो हिंदू, आप मेरी बात सुनिए, हिंदू आउटफिट से कुछ लोग थे
मारे होंगे
जी,
जिसने हत्याएं की होंगी उनके हथियार जब्त होंगे। कोई भी कौम का हो, हिंदू हो या मुसलमान, सब पे घर पे बुलडोजर चलना चाहिए।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, अगर आपने कुछ गलत किया नहीं, आप कह रहे हो आपने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया, आप कोर्ट से बेल क्यों लिए? अगर आपको लगता है आपने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया।
मैडम जी, कानून और संविधान से बढ़कर कोई इंसान नहीं है। कानून को लगा कि ये विवादित टिप्पणी है तो मैं कोर्ट में पेश हुआ, क्राइम ब्रांच वाले ने मुझे।
तो आप मानते हो ये विवादित टिप्पणी है? आप मानते हो ये विवादित टिप्पणी है?
लेकिन कोर्ट से बड़ा कोई नहीं है, मैं नहीं मानता
है तो आपको लगता है
विवादित टिप्पणी है। अगर उनको लग रही है तो
कानून के खिलाफ जाओगे।
We have the visuals on our screen। ये तलवारें कहाँ से आई? ये बंदूकें कहाँ से आई? हमारे हाथ में ये तलवारें और बंदूकों की क्या जरूरत है? बिट्टू बजरंगी
विवादित टिप्पणी है।
और बिट्टू बजरंगी उनको बचाए तो विवादित टिप्पणी हो गई। हमारी गौ माता को कोई काटे और बिट्टू बजरंगी बचाए तो वो विवादित टिप्पणी हो गई।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको अगर धमकी दी गई थी, आपने कहा मुझे धमकी दी गई है। बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको धमकी दी गई थी, आपने कहा
एक साथ नहीं बोलता कि सारी कौम गलत है, लेकिन जो आदमी गलत है वो गलत है।
आपने कहा आपको धमकी दी गई थी। आप कानून में विश्वास करते हैं, आपने कहा कानून और संविधान के ऊपर कोई नहीं है, तो आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए? आपने धमकी, आपको जब धमकी दी गई तो आपने धमकी, उसके बाद ये वीडियो क्यों वायरल किया? ये एलिगेशंस है कि आप लोगों ने वेपन्स कैरी किए, पिक्चर्स बता रहे हैं कि वेपन्स थे इस यात्रा में, क्यों कैरी किया? पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए जब आपको धमकी दी गई थी? आप तो कानून में विश्वास करते हैं।
बार बता रहा हूँ, हमारे पास कोई वेपन नहीं था।
आप पुलिस के पास, आपने कहा मुझे धमकी दी गई थी इसलिए मैंने जवाब दिया। आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए? आप तो कानून से डरते हैं।
क्या जवाब दिया? मेरे को धमकी दी गई रैली से 4 दिन पहले लगातार।
तो ये वीडियो किसने वायरल किया? गोली पे गोली चलेगी, वीडियो किसने वायरल किया?
ये नहीं है कि मैं तुम्हारे पास आ रहा हूँ, मैं वहाँ भोले बाबा के दर्शन करने गया था, ना कि वहाँ हत्या करने गया था। जिन्होंने हत्या करी वो घर से भागे छुप रहे हैं, उन पे 302 लग गई है, उनके घर टूटेंगे और तुम चलाओगी लाइव उनका। और कुछ दिन बाद सारी रिपोर्ट सामने आएगी। दूध का दूध,
बिट्टू
पानी का
बजरंगी
पानी
चाहे
होगा,
हिंदू हो या मुसलमान, अगर वो दंगा कर रहे थे हम उनसे सवाल करेंगे। और अभी भी हमने चलाया बुलडोजर, हमने दिखाया जहां बुलडोजर चला है इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट पे। मेरी बात सुनो बिट्टू बजरंगी, मेरी बात सुनो। अभी हमारी स्क्रीन पर ये तलवारें दिख रही हैं और बंदूकें दिख रही हैं, ये किसके हाथों में है? ये क्यों है? ये कहां से आई?
मेरे हाथ में बंदूक दिखाओ तुम। आप मेरे से बात कर रहे हो, मेरे हाथ में बंदूक दिखाओ। आतंकवादियों के हाथ में बंदूक है, जो वो पुलिस काम कर रही है।
आतंकवादी थे वो सारे, क्योंकि जिस तरह से आप कह रहे हो वहाँ पाकिस्तान बन रहा था, वहाँ जो दंगा हो रहा था दिख रहा था।
नारा तकबीर, हिंदुस्तान मुर्दाबाद, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, ये नारे लगाए गए हैं वहाँ। और
बिल्कुल एक्शन लिया जाएगा, एक्शन लिया जाएगा। हम भी डिमांड करेंगे, उनके खिलाफ भी लिया जाएगा। लेकिन क्या वो सब मुसलमान थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी? क्या वो सब मुसलमान थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी? ये सवाल भी उठ रहा है। जो विजुअल हमारे यहाँ चल रहे हैं उसमें ऐसा दिख रहा है कि कुछ हिंदू ग्रुप के भी थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी। वो क्यों थी, कहाँ से आई?
अपना काम करेगा। किस आतंकवादी के हाथ में बंदूक है, किस पे अवैध हथियार है, किस पे लाइसेंस का काम है। कानून से बढ़ के कोई नहीं है, कानून अपना काम करेगा। सबकी फुटेज निकाली जा रही है। चाहे कोई भी कौम का हो, हिंदू हो या मुसलमान हो, सबको लाइन पे लिया जाएगा। जो गलत है गलत है, संविधान से और कानून से बढ़कर कोई नहीं है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप कह रहे हो कि कानून मानता है, आपकी टिप्पणी विवादित है, लेकिन आप नहीं मानते, तो आप पुलिस के खिलाफ हो, आप कानून के खिलाफ हो, आप कानून से सहमति नहीं रखते। अगर कानून मानती है ये विवादित टिप्पणी है, तो आप माफी क्यों नहीं मांग रहे?
नहीं भागता उनकी तरह, आतंकवादियों की तरह। कानून ने बुलाया, हम पेश हुए, और जो कानून ने हमें बोलना था, सजा देनी थी, जो चीज थी, हम कोर्ट के द्वारा आए। हम घर छोड़ के नहीं भाग रहे, हम अपने घर पे हैं। आतंकवादी घर से भागे पड़े।
मानना नहीं चाहते हो विवादित टिप्पणी है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, जब पुलिस कह रही है और आप कह रहे हो कानून समझता है। बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप बात को घुमाइए मत।
योगी बाबा यहाँ भी आने वाला है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप बात को घुमाइए मत। आपसे बहुत सीधा सवाल है, आप कह रहे हो कानून मानता है।
दर्द होगा सेकुलर लोगों को, पेट में दर्द होगा। बुलडोजर यहाँ भी चलने वाला है।
किसके पेट में दर्द होगा बिट्टू बजरंगी?
आप कह रहे हैं पेट में दर्द होगा, किसके पेट में दर्द होगा?
सेकुलर आतंकवादियों के। जो
सरकार अपना काम करेगी, सरकार अपना काम करेगी। आपने किसका ठेका लिया है? सरकार अपना काम करेगी, सरकार अपना काम। आपने किसका ठेका लिया?
दर्द होगा
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है?
करेगा उसके पेट में दर्द नहीं होगा।
आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ आपसे, मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ कि आपने जो इस पूरे विवाद में आपने जो काम किया है, आपका ये कहना है कि हमें धमकी दी जा रही थी, हम क्यों चुप बैठेंगे? इसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? इसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? क्या आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेंगे?
मंदिर में गए थे, हमारी लाइव लोकेशन निकाल दो, हमारे फेसबुक पे मैंने चलाई हुई है। मंदिर में गए, मंदिर में जाने से ही हम पे गोली चल गई। ये हमने पाप कर दिया, हमने जलाभिषेक कर दिया, ये पाप हो गया। हमने वहाँ पे किसकी गाड़ियां तोड़ी,
गोली का जो आपने वीडियो वायरल करवाया था, ये किस वजह से करवाया था? बने रहिए हमारे साथ, वो वीडियो हम चलाएंगे, उसके बाद में हम बात कर रहे हैं
कि बिट्टू बजरंगी रो रहा है।
ये वीडियो आपका नहीं है?
4 साल पुरानी वीडियो है वो।
नहीं 7 साल पुरानी हो, 10 साल पुरानी हो, वायरल तो ये अभी हुआ है ना, वायरल तो ये अभी हुआ है। आपने क्या काम किया इस पूरे समय में? आपने क्या काम किया? आप कहते कि आप कानून से डरने वाले हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और लॉ के आगे कुछ नहीं है, तो आपने क्या काम किया?
मैंने क्या काम किया? मैंने तो जलाभिषेक किया, शोभा यात्रा में शामिल हुए।
ये वीडियो का क्या मतलब है? ये वीडियो चलवाने का मतलब क्या है, ये बताइए। क्या आपने ये वीडियो नहीं चलवाई? 7 साल पुरानी हो या 10 साल पुरानी हो, क्या ये वीडियो आपने नहीं चलवाई इस समय? वायरल नहीं करवाई?
कौन सी वीडियो?
ये वीडियो जो गोली पे गोली चलेगी जो वीडियो है, इसके बारे में बातचीत हो रही है। आप ही का वीडियो है।
मैडम जी, मेरी वीडियो को, पुरानी वीडियो को उठा के एडिट किया जा रहा है।
अच्छा, एडिट हो रहा है अब? बिट्टू बजरंगी एडिट कर रहे हैं आपका वीडियो?
मेरी 4 साल 5 साल पुरानी वीडियो को उठा के ये कहा जा रहा है, देखो एक वीडियो और
अच्छा, बिट्टू बजरंगी ये बताइए कि आप अपने आप को कैसे देखते हैं? आप कह रहे हैं कि आप सनातन धर्म बचा रहे हैं, क्या ऐसे सनातन धर्म बचेगा तो किस तरह से इमेज जाएगी? ये भी आप देखिए, क्या आपको लगता है आप ठीक कर रहे हैं जो आप कर रहे हैं? All right, looks like that's enough of the questions from India Today. Bittu Bajrangi, we'll try and get him back. It is important. He's one of the main accused, as is being seen. One of those who's allegedly his video had incited the violence. That's Bittu Bajrangi's song that you see. That you'd say. बिट्टू बजरंगी, ये बताइए आप अपने आप को कैसे देखते हैं? आप कह रहे हैं कि आप सनातन धर्म बचा रहे हैं, तो ये बचा रहे हैं जिस तरीके से, ये आपका ढंग है, आपको लगता है ठीक है? आपको आवाज आ रही है बिट्टू बजरंगी?
Okay, now he is in fact denied his role in this violence. We just had a detailed conversation with Car Vigilante Bittu Bajrangi, who's already been questioned. He's out on bail. However, he says he continues to maintain that he was provoked. Bittu Bajrangi, अगर आप हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं, हमें सुन पा रहे हैं? All right, we seem to have, in fact, lost that line with Bittu Bajrangi, but he says that he denies allegations of him or his members of his organization carrying any weapons. He's clearly said that. He's also said that this video that, in fact, went viral at this point in time, he said he did not put it out. It's an old video. That's his defense. However, he continues to maintain that he was provoked and they were being threatened. Bittu Bajrangi has joined the probe by the Faridabad police following the violence that took place in Noo.
और ये बोलेंगे कि बताया नहीं कि हम मुलाकात नहीं हुई, तो इसलिए हम पूरी लोकेशन देंगे। अभी हम पाली हैं और निकलेंगे धौस से ही। फूल माला तैयार रखना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। बिल्कुल, क्योंकि ये बोलते हैं ना कि बताना नहीं, निकल गए जी, बताया नहीं, पूछा।
Okay, this man on your screen has been accused of provoking the rioters. Riots, in fact, he continues to be in denial. We'll track that story very closely. Putting out that interview, the entire interview also on our website, that's indiatoday.in. A quick check of the headlines at this hour. It's noon. India Today tracks down rioters' den. Rioters hiding in Aravali mountains. Police movement tracked from hilltop. Pakistan-based YouTubers spewed venom during riots. Cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts under scanner for hate posts that fanned riots. Over 2,300 videos from the 31st of July, beg your pardon, under scanner. New SP Singla has been transferred. This is undeniable proof on brilliance with India Today. Bajrang Dal workers seen firing, admits to firing in the air for self-defense. A top story this hour, getting you all the details as far as the investigations in the new violence is concerned. India Today investigation has set the new agenda here. We have accessed videos that show how stones are pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Amid the serene beauty of the Aravali hills in Haryana's Noo, our investigation has revealed that 500 residents were hiding in the mountains and cops movement was being closely tracked from the hilltop. Not just this, the Sarpanch admits few rioters had fled. Locals also confirmed that they were hiding in the hills due to fear of the police. Our investigation takes you up those hills just outside Noo, from where the first stones flew. From the firing spot to the hiding place, India Today goes where nobody has dared to go. Our investigation reveals that there was intelligence failure, inadequate policing, calls for violence given on social media, and rioters' hill hideout has been exposed. The spotlight now is on the Khattar government. Will they act on this?
देखिए वहाँ जो बैठे हुए हैं, खड़े हुए हैं, वहाँ मेरे भाई हैं।
India today locates them uphill.
ये मेरे भैया डोल रहा है यहाँ। ये कोई टेररिस्ट नहीं है, सिर्फ अपनी जान बचाने छुपे हुए हैं जी।
Young men perched atop the mountains. Village women carrying jerry cans trek upward.
खाना हाँ पहाड़ ले जा रहा भाई ग्वाला हम तो प्राण लो
पहाड़ पे
हाँ
छुपे हुए हैं।
हाँ
ये क्या खाना पानी लेके जा रहे हैं?
हाँ
अच्छा, और भी लोग हैं ऊपर?
हाँ
We deploy a drone. India today took to the skies, navigating the rugged terrain to bring you an extraordinary perspective. The rolling hills, cloaked in lush greenery, stretching endlessly. Our lens settles on surreal sights. A hideaway of villagers of New district fearing crackdown. And a hideout of suspected rioters mingling with them to escape arrest. India today's watchful eye reveals a trail of individuals trudging up with their belongings in tow. Cots on their heads, household items in possession. As the drone soars, it captures the scale of this makeshift exodus. Clusters of people dot the landscape. These are not leisurely explorers. Among these elderly villagers and women are suspected troublemakers.
सुबह में और शाम में दोनों टाइम और दोपहर में पुलिस का राउंड लगता है, इसीलिए पहाड़ पे रहते हैं लोग। यहाँ पे पुलिस उठा कर ले जाती है बेकसूर लोगों को भी। खाना वाना कुछ नहीं खाया, खाना वाने का कोई इंतजाम ही नहीं है।
India Today's exclusive endeavor reveals a complex narrative of fear and defiance etched on the canvas of the Aravali hills. With Arvind Oja in New, Bureau Report, India Today.
Getting you all the details as far as this investigation is concerned. New rioters' den is what India Today has exposed. In fact, in this report, giving you a sense of where the rioters were hiding and also, in fact, monitoring the movement of the cops. The big question here is whether the government of Haryana is going to respond looking at this report. Our investigation setting the new agenda here. We have access videos that show how stones are pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Amid the serene beauty of the Aravali hills in Haryana's New, our investigation reveals that 500 residents were hiding in mountains and the movement of the police was getting tracked from the hilltop. These are pictures on your screen of the drone pictures, in fact, that speaks volumes of how all of this was really planned by the rioters who are in the hiding. Now, the Sarpanch admits that few rioters have fled. Locals have also confirmed that they were hiding in hills due to fear of the police. The police have meanwhile intensified the probe in the New violence case. Police suspect the New riots were planned after several arrested accused confessed that they indeed joined the Shobha Yatra on the 31st of July to spark violence. Sources have told India Today that accused confessed to firing illegal weapons by joining the crowd. Also confessed to using illegal weapons, bricks, stones, sticks to attack cops in the crowd. Confessed to hiding the weapons after the violence. They said several of the rioters were hiding in the hills of Mewat, besides Jaipur, Udaipur in Rajasthan, Meerut, Agra, Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh. 10 FIRs registered against social media accounts, fanning tensions. The police say indecent and communally charged posts were made on the day of the violence. Close to 2,300 violence fanning videos were posted on social media.
ऐसी कोई हरकतें ना करें, कोई गलत पोस्ट ना डालें, कोई किसी को फॉरवर्ड ना करे, कोई किसी को वायरल ना करे, नहीं तो हम सबकी निगाह रखे हुए हैं। अगर कोई सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से, अगर कोई व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी के माध्यम से कोई खेल खेलना चाहेगा तो हम उसके खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई करेंगे।
देखिए, सोशल मीडिया पर नज़र थी और सोशल मीडिया पर नज़र होने की वजह से कई ऐसे पोस्ट आए थे जो पोस्ट शायद खुद में शायद इतने नहीं एग्रेसिव हो, लेकिन उनका क्योंकि रिएक्शन बहुत एग्रेसिव आ रहा तो फिर भी वो पोस्ट को डिलीट करा दिया गया। जब भी कोई भी लगा कि ऐसी पोस्ट आ रही, इमीडिएटली पुलिस ने न सिर्फ काउंटर किया, उनको अप्रोच किया, पीस बनाने के लिए बहाली।
Continues to be with us from New in Haryana. Shreya, in fact, a moment ago we were speaking with Bittu Bajrangi. He, of course, has got bail. But give us a sense of his involvement in all of this. How closely is the police looking at the role of Bittu Bajrangi and his team in fact, provoking and also in fanning the violence that Nu has seen for days together now?
Bittu Bajrangi's post had gone viral where Bittu Bajrangi was given an open, chunauti we can say, suggesting that I will come to Mewat. The kind of songs that was playing in the background were provocative. He had come to the yatra, he was giving his location, suggesting that I will not hide out, come, I'm over here, this is my location. So we can understand that these were provocative. We cannot deny, and neither is the Haryana police also denying, otherwise that FIR wouldn't have been registered against him. The FIR is under a very strict section, which is section 295A for fanning religious tension. So we can clearly understand that police had initiated a crackdown, but now he's managed to get a bail as well from the court. So we are not going to see him getting arrested for sure, but there is the Haryana police admitting that he had a role to play, and that is somewhere down the line proved by the FIR that's been registered against him in Faridabad's Dabua police station on the 1st of August. Bittu Bajrangi, however, is not saying that he has done anything wrong. We asked him pointed questions and he agreed that yes, I have got bail because I believe in the law and order, but I do not believe that statement by me was wrong. Even if the police believes that, he is denying to suggest that he is not agreeing to say sorry for the entire scenario. So we cannot say that he's apologetic about it. He remains unapologetic despite an FIR that has now been registered against him by the Haryana police.
Shreya, also what's of utmost concern right now is the fact that the situation continues to be tense in many of these areas. Talk to us about the kind of arrangements that have been made a moment ago. In fact, a while ago, you showed us pictures of the flag march that was being conducted in Nu, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, Sosneha. You know, there was a flag march that was carried out at this very Nu Chowk where I'm standing right now. RAF is still deployed on the ground. There are riot control vehicles, additional forces has been called in, not just Nu, the adjoining areas of, say, Palwal, we talk about Alwar, Sona, Gurugram, all these are on high alerts. There is forces deployed. Time and again, police is conducting area domination activity today because it's the day of Friday namaz. There has been unanimous decisions after the peace committee meetings where the imams of the respective mosques have also announced and said people to please offer your namaz inside your residence. So if we talk about today, as of now, there hasn't been any fresh reports of communal tension reported from Nu or the adjoining districts, but it does continue to remain tense because despite relaxations being given by the administration, people are not opening their shops. We've spoken with the locals over here. They really say that we are still not feeling secure to open our shops, so that uneasiness still prevails in Nu, and it'll take time to go, what we clearly understand. But right now the administration is trying their best to ensure that normalcy returns quickly. Slowly by slowly they're giving in relaxations to ensure that everything that used to be in Nu before Monday goes back to the exact normal situation.
I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. We're getting in all the details. In fact, talking to our viewers now about the sensational details that continue to trickle in as far as these riots that took place. It started on the 31st of July. Another video proof of Haryana villains has now emerged, where Ashok Bajrangi, a Bajrang Dal worker, was seen open firing in the air on the day of the violence in Nu. Bajrangi on camera has admitted that he opened fire, but in self-defense. He says he saw 4 people dying in front of him. Another video that shows how in the Aravali hills in Nu, this became a vantage point for attackers as the Vishwa Hindu Parishad's Braj Mandal Yatra passed below. Video showed gunshots and stone pelting from the heights of Aravali on the day of the violence.
तो ऊपर से हमारे ऊपर ताबड़तोड़ गोलियां मारनी स्टार्ट हुई। जब ही पास में मेरे बाजू में खड़े एक आदमी को गोली भी लगी, जिसका प्रत्यक्ष गवाह हैं, प्रत्यक्ष है, जिन पुलिसकर्मी सभी प्रत्यक्ष हैं जिन्होंने वहां पर देखा था। और इसी को देखते हुए मैंने तभी सेल्फ डिफेंस में इन सब चीजों को देखते हुए एक हवा में फायर किया, जो हवाई फायर था केवल उनको डराने के लिए किया गया था। जो
उस दंगे में नरसंहार हुआ और पूरा प्लान था कि मोनू माले सर और बिट्टू बजरंगी के साथ जो भी महिलाएं, बच्चे, सनातनी भाई वहाँ पूजा करने आए थे, संगठन के लोग, सभी दलों के लोग, सबकी हत्या करके एक मैसेज दे दें कि अल्लाहू अकबर, नारे तकबीर, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, इस तरह नारे लगाकर हमारी पूरी हत्या की साजिश थी।
Getting you all the details as far as the crackdown on the hate posts is concerned. Look at the kind of action that has now been taken. 10 FIRs have been filed against social media accounts. 3 social media accounts continue to be under the scanner. Now, these accounts belong to Shahid, Adil and Guru Ghantal. Now, they put hate posts. These are the people who put hate posts on the 31st of July, the day of the violence. Posts by Shahid, Adil and Guru fueled riots. Adil had in fact posted indecent and communally charged songs, one of those against whom the FIR has been registered. The cops are yet to identify who runs Shahid Guru Ghantal account. Social media videos dated the 31st of July, the day of the violence, are under the scanner of the authorities. Over 2,300 videos from the 31st of July are under the scanner. Now, India Today has also accessed videos that show how stones are pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Now, India Today takes you up those hills just outside Nuh, from where the first stones flew. From the firing spot to the hiding place, India Today goes where nobody has dared to go. We reveal the rioters' hideouts.
Gunshots pierced through. Hails of stones came down like missiles. Attackers took a vantage point in the Aravali hills above as the VHP's Braj Mandal Yatra passed on its route below on Monday in Haryana's Nuh. India Today on an arduous journey to find out who seized the towering peaks to rain down bullets and stones on the July 31 procession. The warm hues of the rising sun, the lush greenery, the ridges, the gentle breeze, and the chirping birds told us a hidden story. Men you see sleeping here aren't on leisurely excursions. We discover that they have transformed these hills around Nuh into a strategic cover. Local villagers escaping arrests, along with suspected rioters. Their face covered, these young men sitting with fellow villagers explained to us why they are staying put in these vast, rugged terrains.
ये आप लोग इतने मतलब पहाड़ों में क्यों छुपे हुए हैं?
भाई पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे पड़े हैं पहाड़ों में।
क्यों, ऐसा क्या कर दिया कि पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे हुए हैं?
पुलिस आती है, उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछते तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
कहाँ?
गांव में आती है हमारा में।
तो कहाँ नहीं गए मतलब?
जो ये जो ये दंगाई आए थे ये।
अच्छा अच्छा।
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं।
नहीं तो पूरे गांव के कितने, सारे गांव के लोग पहाड़ों में?
गांव में पड़ा है, जो ये यहाँ पे गांव में है जो।
अच्छा।
कोई कहीं चला गया, कोई कहीं चला गया पुलिस के डर की वजह से।
तो पूरे पहाड़ों में कितने लोग हैं अभी?
तकरीबन होंगे 500 आदमी।
500 लोग पूरे पहाड़ों में हैं?
हाँ।
For these residents of Nuh, The surrounding Aravali range is serving as their mountain refuge. In response to an ever-looming spectre of arrests and police crackdown in the aftermath of Monday's mayhem in the district. But the new resident also admitted that suspected rioters have mingled with innocent civilians, taking shelter in the hills over fears of mass arrests. Listen into him again.
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं। पुलिस आती है, उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछती तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
In the FIR, police have mentioned that some of the locals descended from the mountains, carrying illegal arms, lathis and stones to disrupt religious service at a local temple. Videos of purported gunshots and stones hurled from the same heights on Monday have also surfaced. Vigilant gazes cast downward, eyes trained on the lands below. The men spotted a speeding convoy of police cars from afar.
नहीं तो फिर आप लोग पहाड़ों में ही क्यों आए? मतलब कहीं और भी जा सकते थे।
इस वजह से है, जैसे अब ये पुलिस की गाड़ी जा रही है, यहाँ से हमें पता पड़ जाते है गाड़ी आ रही है, अपने साइड में हो जाते हैं। 2-3 बस, अरे को ये कितनी गाड़ी जा रही है, ये 10-12 गाड़ी जा रही है, वो जा रही है, बस है, जहाँ मन मारे वही छापा मार रहे।
अच्छा, ये पुलिस की गाड़ियाँ जा रही जो वाइट बस जाती है?
3-4 बस हैं, 7-8 गाड़ी हैं, इसी के डर की वजह से डूब का पड़ा है यहाँ पे।
For these people, it's their makeshift encampment. Black tarpaulin sheets lay casually, ready to be used as cover for the night. Like ants in a procession, more villagers can be seen ascending the hills. Their silhouettes grew more defined with each step.
यहाँ बेसिकली जितने भी पहाड़ों में जो लोग हैं वो सब के सब आप ही के गांव के हैं?
नहीं, हमारे गांव के भी हैं, साथ में ये गांव है, अगला गांव में, हर गांव में से जैसे भी, जैसे कहीं से 10 हैं, कहीं से 5 ऐसे चढ़ जाते हैं, डर की वजह से, जैसे कहीं का भी हिर लगता है।
तो ये कब से आप लोग चढ़े हुए हैं पहाड़ों पे?
यहाँ में होगा 2-3 दिन है आज।
नहीं तो इसके ऊपर भी और लोग बैठे हुए हैं?
जहाँ तक ये हर आदमी अपना बचाव करेगा और ऊपर चले जाएंगे, अगर जब भी और ऊपर चढ़ गए भाई अब पकड़ के ले जाएंगे, आखिरी हथियारी और कुछ
नहीं। तो क्या इसके ऊपर भी लोग बैठे हुए हैं क्या?
हाँ, बैठे हैं, जगह जगह बैठ जाते हैं। अब जैसे यहाँ बैठे हैं, वहाँ बैठ जाते हैं और ऊपर चले जाते हैं। हाँ, अगर पुलिस ना है तो अपने यहीं बैठे रहेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हमें किसी से कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
We now investigate in the violence-hit villages in the lap of the Aravalis below. Rafiq is president of Noos Sarpanch Association.
All right, we're going straight to the proceedings. In fact, in Lok Sabha, where the defense minister is speaking.
इस तरह को मैं सूचित करना चाहता हूं, अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपकी अनुमति से इस इंटर सर्विसेज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कमांड कंट्रोल एंड डिसिप्लिन बिल 2023 विधेयक पर विचार करने का मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं।
कि बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बिल है, देश की सुरक्षा बलों से संबंधित बिल है। आपको इस बिल में भाग लेना चाहिए, आपको इसमें चर्चा में भाग लेना चाहिए। आप जो है इतने तटस्थ नहीं रह सकते हैं। आप प्लीज बैठिए, आप बैठिए, बात सुनिए, अपनी बात कहिए, बिल के विचार विमर्श में भाग लीजिए, आप जैसा आपने कल किया था। श्री राज्यवर्धन सिंह राठौर जी,
सभापति महोदय, मैं इस बिल के समर्थन में खड़ा हो रहा हूं। ये वैसे बहुत ही सरल बिल है और इसकी जरूरत
We'll continue to get you all details in the proceedings in Rajya Sabha and also Lok Sabha. For the moment, it's time for a quick break, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, a few moments ago, we grilled. India Today grilled and questioned the villain of no riots, Bittu Bajrangi's brazen defense of banning riots. Here's what he said.
Communal flashpoint at Delhi's doorstep. Amidst the flames and rioting, India Today reporters fearless on the ground.
Stone pelting was so aggressive from the both sides.
Entire market in the area has been shut right now. Attacked the cyber police station of Noor.
Facts, questions,
What resulted in the communal clashes?
and first-hand reports.
एकदम ही पत्थर आए हैं ऊपर से छतों पे से गोली चल चली है पीछे वाला शीशा टूट लिया
100% accuracy amidst the blaze. We track the face of every story. India Today. India United.
Police are investigating this aspect. Pakistan Zindabad slogans were raised according to the FIR. And Dr. Vikram Singh, if I could bring you into this conversation, this clearly cannot be acceptable if what the police say is true.
This indicates the brazenness and the communal mindset and the communal wiring of a microscopic minority of the people. But the fact of the matter is, Gaurav ji, I would say I have zero tolerance to such objectionable slogans.
Yes.
We live in the most vibrant democracy where everybody, Hindus, Muslims, minorities, everybody are the happiest people on the planet. Well, if those who feel that Pakistan has to be Zindabad, then they better change their citizenship and go where they will choose to. India is just not the place for them. But the wiring, the social media, and also the radicalization is responsible for these objectionable slogans. And my advice to police would be to identify them through video and CCTV cameras, get to the ringleaders and put them behind bars under the NSA and the UAPA.
Sir, but in some localities of Mewat and in Nu, you are well aware, the police are scared to enter some of these localities. They target the police, no fear of the law. And then you have people like this Ehsan Mewati Pakistani, his videos, the FIR seems to indicate that people were instigated. Yatra was targeted, but a narrative is being built in your appreciation. Is cover fire being given to the perpetrators of the riots in Nu, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is what the whole administrative tragedy is all about. Giving cover fire to those who fired at absolutely empty-handed, bare-handed, peaceful Shobha Yatra participants and also firing at them. 2 of our home guards have been martyred. One is suffering a head injury. The other is having an abdominal bullet injury. And to give a cover fire to those shouting Pakistan Zindabad, I think they should also be booked under 120B of the IPC for criminal conspiracy. This is not acceptable, Gauravji. To befriend anti-national elements is being akin to being anti-national.
The Fashion Week was one true blue tribute to the art, craft, designs, and most importantly, the artisans of India. And our couturiers made sure to do justice to their roots. As bridal was the core theme of FDCI India Couture Week 2023, the closing show of the finale night saw Shraddha Kapoor dropping some major bridal goals. Yes, the actress walked the ramp for Rahul Mishra Couture for his latest collection, We the People, again representing the artisans who work to master those intricate detailing. Shraddha was seen donning a shimmery lehenga with silver patches and floral embroidery on the pastel base. She paired the stunning piece with low-cut blouse and a cape. With this, the curtain has fallen for India Couture Week 2023 and fans couldn't have asked for a better closure for this glamorous fashion extravaganza. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Getting you up to speed with all developments from Nu and the violence in Haryana. Now, India Today's team grilled Nu violence hate monger Bittu Bajrangi. Bittu Bajrangi, a self-proclaimed car vigilante known for his divisive diatribes, has been accused of fanning violence. While speaking to India Today, he gave his version of how the events unfolded on the 31st of July in violence in Gyanvapi district, claiming the lives of 6 people. Listen in.
आपने आपके वीडियो में तो काफी भड़काऊ जब मैसेजेस दिया, आपने ऐसा भी कुछ कहा आपका जीजा आ रहा है वहां पर, तैयार रहो, ऐसे मैसेजेस। यात्रा थी ये तो बहुत बढ़िया शोभा यात्रा थी जो हर साल होती है। ऐसे मैसेज उस गांव में क्यों देंगे जहां मुसलमान रहते हैं?
मेरे पास स्क्रीनशॉट है, वीडियो है, रिकॉर्डिंग है जो मैंने क्राइम ब्रांच को उपलब्ध करवा दी है। मेरे को धमकी दे रहे थे, मैं सभी के लिए नहीं होता, जिन्होंने मुझे गालियां दी और मेरे साथ धमकी दी और जिन लोगों ने मुझे काटने मारने की बात बोली, ये उनके लिए था, ना कि सभी के लिए।
आपके अगेंस्ट जो क्रिटिसिज्म है कि आप पे अब एफआईआर हुई है, अब आप जेल जाएंगे, आपकी वजह से दंगा हुआ है, ये एलिगेशन है आप पर कि ऐसे भड़काऊ मैसेजेस की वजह से ही और लोग आ गए थे वहां पर।
अच्छा, वो 15 दिन की तैयारी थी, आधे घंटे में कोई तैयारी नहीं होती। 15 दिन से वो अपनी मीटिंग कर रहे थे, बैठक कर रहे थे कि मोनू माने सर बिट्टू बजरंगी आएंगे,
ये सारे
करेंगे, वो किसी को नहीं दिखाई
हमारे साथ श्रेया भी मौजूद है। श्रेया, गो अहेड, यू कैन ऑन द ग्राउंड।
एक मेव आर्मी बनाई 4 दिन पहले, वो किसी को नहीं दिया। खान ने बोला टुकड़ा टुकड़ा करेंगे, ये किसी को नहीं दिखाई दिया।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप यात्रा में मौजूद होके लाइव कर रहे थे, आप इसके बारे में क्या कहेंगे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपने सिर्फ पहले वीडियो नहीं किया था, आप यात्रा में मौजूद थे। यात्रा में मौजूद होके आप लाइव कर रहे थे, आप लोगों को चुनौती दे रहे थे। जब इसके बाद दंगे भड़के, क्या आप माफी मांगेंगे? अब आपके खिलाफ एफआईआर भी हो चुका है, सिर्फ वीडियो नहीं है, आप यात्रा में भी मौजूद थे।
तो यात्रा में कोई मैं मना क्यों नहीं कर रहा? क्या जलाभिषेक करना, पूजा करना, भोले बाबा के दर्शन करना, मैं मना नहीं कर रहा, मैं यात्रा में नहीं था। क्या ये पाप है? हमारे हिंदुस्तान में हिंदू धर्म में रहते हुए लोग अपने भगवान की पूजा नहीं करेंगे?
लाइव करके चुनौती क्यों दे रहे थे?
जी
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, पूजा करना आपका हक है, हर किसी का हक है, लेकिन आप लाइव करके, यात्रा से लाइव करके आप चुनौती क्यों दे रहे थे कि मैं अपना लोकेशन शेयर कर रहा हूं, आप आइए? ये चुनौती
मेरे
आपकी
पास
तरफ से क्यों दी जा रही थी?
मेरे पास आइए, अभी भी मेरे को धमकी आ रही है मारने काटने की। ये उनके लिए है, ये उनके लिए था जो मुझे मारने काटने की अब शब्द गंदी गाली दे रहे हैं।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, बिट्टू बजरंगी आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, सोशल मीडिया पर आप भड़काऊ वीडियोस डालते हैं, आप पुलिस के पास जाते हैं, अगर आपके पास धमकी आई थी तो
साक्ष्य आप पूरे अपने पास रख लेना, मैं आपको उपलब्ध करवा दूंगा, सारे सबूत आपको दूंगा, उसको भी चलाओ कि उन्होंने क्या बोला।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे? अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, अभी आप माफी मांगेंगे? क्योंकि पुलिस ने
माफी मोमन खान को माननी चाहिए,
है कि
मोमन खान को, जाबिर घाटमिका को, अफ्तार अहमद को, जिन्होंने मेवात में दंगे करे, घर जलाए, हमारी माताओं बहनों पर अत्याचार किया,
बजरंगी जी,
बाइकें
अभी भी
लूटी,
आप माफी
बस
मांगेंगे
जलाई,
या नहीं
हमारे
मांगेंगे?
2 जवान शहीद हुए और हमारी बच्चों पे अत्याचार हुआ।
जी, आपके खिलाफ
माफी मांगनी चाहिए, जो दंगाई है, जो आतंकवादी है, उनको माफी मांगनी चाहिए। हम तो सनातनी है,
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपके खिलाफ भी
विश्वास रखते हैं,
आपके खिलाफ
अभी
भी
हम कानून से बेल लेकर कोर्ट में जमानत मिल गई, हम अपने अभी घर पे हैं और वो घर पे अपने घर से क्यों भागे घूम रहे हैं? कानून के सामने जाए, पेश होए।
चुनौती अगर ना
घर से भागकर छुपे हुए पुलिस से क्यों भाग रहे हैं? सामने आए।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपने आग में घी डालने का काम किया है। आप कहते हैं कि मुझे थ्रेट्स आए थे, मुझे धमकी दी जा रही थी, तो आप पुलिस के पास जा सकते थे। आपने क्या किया? आपने भी इस तरह के भड़काऊ वीडियोस डाले, इस तरीके से आपने आग में घी डालने का काम किया।
जिन्होंने आग में घी डाला वो 4 दिन पहले 5 दिन पहले कह रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे, वो किसी को नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, ना किसी को कोई दिखा रहा कि उन्होंने धमकी दी है कि मोनू माने से बिट्टू बजरंगी आएंगे, खुलेआम यूट्यूबर पे न्यूज चल रही है कि अगर आके दिखाओ माहौल खराब कर देंगे हम बात का।
आप पुलिस के पास जाते,
मैंने तो आधे घंटे पहले वीडियो को, मेरी वीडियो को आधे घंटे पहले वीडियो को अपना वो दोस्त ढकने के लिए, मेरे पास दोस्त मर रहे हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने जो ये आतंक फैलाया है और ये ISI का भी इसमें पीछे हाथ हो सकता है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको अगर धमकी दी गई थी तो आपने भी तो प्रोवोक किया, आप पुलिस के पास जा सकते थे।
हमारे गृह मंत्री अनिल विज लग रहे हैं, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होगा और सब आपके सामने आप दोबारा चलाओगे कि किस किस का हाथ है इसमें, किस किस ने इसमें आतंक में हथियार उपलब्ध करवाए। हम तो वहाँ पे जलाभिषेक करने थे अपने बच्चों के साथ, अपनी बहन बेटियों के साथ, हम दंगा करने नहीं गए थे। कोई अपनी फैमिली के साथ वहाँ पे लड़ाई करने को जाता है, कोई
बिट्टू बजरंगी, सबके सबूत चल रहे हैं हमारे चैनल पर, सबके सबूत चल रहे हैं, लेकिन सवाल ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं आज ये लग रहा है कि हिंदुओं का नाम खराब कर रहे हैं। आपका जो वीडियो था, वो जो वीडियो आपने निकाला एक शोभा यात्रा थी, उसमें ऐसे वीडियो का तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता है, वो तो शोभा यात्रा थी, उसमें ये क्या क्यों कहना जरूरी था गोली पे गोली चलेगी, तुम्हारा जीजा आ रहा है, तैयार रहो।
आप गोली पे गोली स्टेटस था वो, हम तो वहाँ पे एक चाकू भी नहीं ले गए, स्टेटस लगाए, सरकार से बोल दो सारे स्टेटस बंद कर दे।
तो आप कह रहे हो कि मुस्लिम एक्सट्रीमिस्ट रेडी थे, उन्होंने वो पहले से प्लान करके रेडी थे, ऐसा क्यों कहोगे आप? ये क्या सबूत है आपके पास?
15 दिन से तैयारी चल रही थी और मैं क्या बताऊं, मेरा फोन एक ही है, मैं दिखा दूंगा आपको, एक बार आपसे प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट है, आप मेरे घर पे आइए, सारे साक्ष्य दूंगा, सबूत दूंगा, यानी कि बोलना
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, हमें आपसे एक बहुत सिंपल सवाल है,
सारे सबूत दे दिए, सारे फोन नंबर प्रोवाइड करवा दिए जिन से मुझे धमकी आई है, और वो घर से भागे डोल रहे हैं।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है,
घर पे बैठा हूँ,
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है।
हम तो सनातन धर्म है, चींटी मर जाती है उस पर भी पाप समझते हैं, नरसंहार वाले आदमी नहीं है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी,
ब्रज भूमि को पाकिस्तान बनाने की साजिश रच रखी है। वो सरकार किसी भी कीमत
बिट्टू
पे
बजरंगी जी,
पाकिस्तान
आपसे
नहीं
एक
बनने
बहुत
देगी।
छोटा सा सवाल है।
सभी सनातनी भाई ब्रज भूमि को पाकिस्तान नहीं बनने देंगे।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आपसे एक बहुत छोटा सा सवाल है। आप लोग यहाँ पे जल अभिषेक करने आए थे, वो बिल्कुल जायज है, लेकिन एक जल अभिषेक, एक भगवान की आराधना में हथियार की क्या, एक सेकंड, हथियार की क्या रोल थी? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, हथियार क्यों थे? बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, वीडियोस है कि जो यात्रा में भी थे उनके पास भी हथियार थे। एक आराधना में हथियार का क्या काम है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी?
बिट्टू बजरंगी के पास ना बिट्टू बजरंगी की टीम के पास कोई हथियार नहीं। दिखाओ मुझे एक बार लाइव, दिखाओ मुझे
यात्रा में हथियार था या नहीं?
मेरे पास ना हथियार था, ना मेरी यात्रा में हथियार था, ना मुझे संज्ञान में। ये
आप वीडियो है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी की यात्रा में हथियार लाए गए थे। सिंपल सवाल है, क्या आप मानते हो कि भगवान की आराधना में, भगवान की पूजा में, क्या भगवान की पूजा में हथियार का कोई हिस्सा है?
दिखाओ ना मेरे को, मेरे पास का हथियार थे, दिखाओ तो सही। बोलने से क्या होता है मैडम जी?
बिट्टू बजरंगी, एक सवाल और है आपसे।
हथियार थे, मुझे ये दिखाओ।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, गोली पे गोली चलेगी, इस गाने का क्या मतलब है?
अच्छा, हमारा बोलने से गोली पे गोली चलेगी, उन्होंने तो गोली चला के दिखा दी। उन्होंने
तो मतलब
करके
तो अगर वो गलत है तो आप भी गलत करेंगे, मतलब इसका क्या मतलब है? ये भड़काओ, मैंने आपसे पहले भी कहा कि आपने आग में घी डालने का काम किया है,
और उन्होंने बता दिया हथियार क्या होते हैं। हमें तो अब मालूम पड़ा है हथियार क्या होते हैं। हम तो लाठी डंडे जिससे कुत्ते भगाते थे उसको हथियार समझते थे। मीडिया वाले भी कहते हैं लाठी हथियार होता है। हमें तो हथियार 31 तारीख को जब पूजा करी, हमारे ऊपर गोलियां चली, हमें जब मालूम पड़ा हथियार क्या होता है।
आपने ये गाना क्यों डाला?
हथियार क्या होता है?
आपने ये वीडियो में क्यों, इस गाने का क्या मतलब है? ये इस सवाल का जवाब दीजिए।
तो मैडम थी आईजी वहाँ की, अगर वो 5 मिनट पहले नहीं आती तो नरसंहार होता।
इस वीडियो का क्या मतलब है? इस गाने का क्या मतलब है? गोली पे गोली चलेगी, इसका क्या मतलब है?
खबर बनाने वालों की भी खबर बनेगी एक दिन। ये कौम
बिट्टू बजरंगी, खबर बनाने वालों की तो खबर बनेगी, वो बात ठीक है। आप कह रहे हैं, अच्छा चलिए, आप कह रहे हैं पाकिस्तान बन जाएगा, वो पाकिस्तान आप रोक रहे थे, पर बिट्टू बजरंगी वो आपका काम नहीं है। पाकिस्तान ना बने ब्रजभूमि पे, ये सरकार का काम है रोकने का। आप थोड़ी ना रोकेंगे, आप सरकार को बोलेंगे, आप खुद थोड़ी ना निकल जाएंगे गोली पे गोली लेकर।
हमारा सनातन मैंने न्याय दिलाया है। कितनी लड़कियां जो मुस्लिम लड़कियां हैं उनको भी मैंने न्याय दिलाया है। एक बार आप में जब मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको कितनी मुस्लिम लड़कियों की मैंने जान बचाई है।
आप कह रहे हैं आपने बचाया है, आप कह रहे हैं आप बचा रहे हैं वहाँ पे।
बचाया है, मामले दर्ज करवाए। मैं आपको लाइव दिखा सकता हूँ, आप मुझे टाइम बता देना, मैं लाइव दिखाऊंगा कितने मुस्लिम लड़कियों की मैंने जान बचाई है। सिर्फ ये नहीं, सनातन धर्म कहता है सभी हिंदू बहन बेटी सभी अपनी धर्म की बेटी है, तो दूसरे जो धर्म की बेटी है वो भी अपनी बेटी है।
आप अगर बचाने के लिए भी हथियार ला रहे हैं तो वो हथियार कैसे आ रहे हैं? ये हथियार लाइसेंस तो नहीं है, इलीगल हथियार हैं। कैसे हथियार लेकर आप बैठे हैं अपने पास? ये तो अलाउड नहीं है।
मेरे पास हथियार दिखा दो, और हथियार है तो पुलिस अपना काम करेगी। मेरे पास क्या हथियार है दिखा दो मेरे को एक बार, पुलिस अपना काम करेगी। फिर
बिट्टू बजरंगी, वहाँ पे जो लोग थे जो दंगा कर रहे थे उनके हाथों में बंदूकें दिख रही हैं, और वो कहा जा रहा है कि वो हिंदू, आप मेरी बात सुनिए, हिंदू आउटफिट से कुछ लोग थे
होंगे जी, जिसने हत्याएं की होंगी उनके हथियार जब्त होंगे। कोई भी कौम का हो, हिंदू हो या मुसलमान, सब पे घर पे बुलडोजर चलना चाहिए।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, अगर आपने कुछ गलत किया नहीं, आप कह रहे हो आपने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया, आप कोर्ट से बेल क्यों लिए? अगर आपको लगता है आपने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया।
मैडम जी, कानून और संविधान से बढ़कर कोई इंसान नहीं है। कानून को लगा कि ये विवादित टिप्पणी है तो मैं कोर्ट में पेश हुआ, क्राइम ब्रांच वाले ने मुझे।
तो आप मानते हो ये विवादित टिप्पणी है? आप मानते हो ये विवादित टिप्पणी है?
लेकिन कोर्ट से बड़ा कोई नहीं है, मैं नहीं मानता
है। तो आपको लगता है
विवादित टिप्पणी है? अगर उनको लग रही है तो
कानून के खिलाफ जाओगे।
We have the visuals on our screen. ये तलवारें कहाँ से आई? ये बंदूकें कहाँ से आई? हमारे हाथ में ये तलवारें और बंदूकों की क्या जरूरत है? बिट्टू बजरंगी
विवादित टिप्पणी है,
और बिट्टू बजरंगी उनको बचाए तो विवादित टिप्पणी हो गई। हमारी गौ माता को कोई काटे और बिट्टू बजरंगी बचाए तो वो विवादित टिप्पणी हो गई।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको अगर धमकी दी गई थी, आपने कहा मुझे धमकी दी गई है। बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपको धमकी दी गई थी, आपने कहा
एक साथ नहीं बोलता कि सारी कौम गलत है, लेकिन जो आदमी गलत है वो गलत है।
आपने कहा आपको धमकी दी गई थी, आप कानून में विश्वास करते हैं, आपने कहा कानून और संविधान के ऊपर कोई नहीं है, तो आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए? आपने धमकी, आपको जब धमकी दी गई तो आपने धमकी, उसके बाद ये वीडियो क्यों वायरल किया? ये एलिगेशंस है कि आप लोगों ने वेपन्स कैरी किए, पिक्चर्स बता रहे हैं कि वेपन्स थे इस यात्रा में, क्यों कैरी किया? पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए जब आपको धमकी दी गई थी? आप तो कानून में विश्वास करते हैं।
बार-बार बता रहा हूँ, हमारे पास कोई वेपन नहीं था।
आप पुलिस के पास, आपने कहा मुझे धमकी दी गई थी इसलिए मैंने जवाब दिया, आप पुलिस के पास क्यों नहीं गए? आप तो कानून से डरते हैं।
क्या जवाब दिया? मेरे को धमकी दी गई रैली से 4 दिन पहले लगातार।
तो ये वीडियो किसने वायरल किया? गोली पे गोली चलेगी, वीडियो किसने वायरल किया?
ये नहीं है कि मैं तुम्हारे पास आ रहा हूँ, मैं वहाँ भोले बाबा के दर्शन करने गया था, ना कि वहाँ हत्या करने गया था। जिन्होंने हत्या करी वो घर से भागे छुप रहे हैं, उन पे 302 लग गई है, उनके घर टूटेंगे और तुम चलाओगी लाइव उनका, और कुछ दिन बाद सारी रिपोर्ट सामने आएगी। दूध का दूध,
बिट्टू बजरंगी, चाहे हिंदू हो या मुसलमान, अगर वो दंगा कर रहे थे हम उनसे सवाल करेंगे। और अभी भी हमने चलाया बुलडोजर, हमने दिखाया जहां बुलडोजर चला है इलीगल इंक्रोचमेंट पे। मेरी बात सुनो बिट्टू बजरंगी, मेरी बात सुनो। अभी हमारी स्क्रीन पर ये तलवारें दिख रही हैं और बंदूकें दिख रही हैं, ये किसके हाथों में है? ये क्यों है? ये कहां से आई?
मेरे हाथ में बंदूक दिखाओ। तुम, आप मेरे से बात कर रहे हो, मेरे हाथ में बंदूक दिखाओ। आतंकवादियों के हाथ में बंदूक है, जो वो पुलिस काम कर रही है।
आतंकवादी थे वो सारे, क्योंकि जिस तरह से आप कह रहे हो वहाँ पाकिस्तान बन रहा था, वहाँ जो दंगा हो रहा था दिख रहा था।
नारे तकबीर, हिंदुस्तान मुर्दाबाद, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, ये नारे लगाए गए हैं वहाँ। और
बिल्कुल एक्शन लिया जाएगा, एक्शन लिया जाएगा, हम भी डिमांड करेंगे, उनके खिलाफ भी लिया जाएगा। लेकिन क्या वो सब मुसलमान थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी? क्या वो सब मुसलमान थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी? ये सवाल भी उठ रहा है। जो विजुअल हमारे यहाँ चल रहे हैं उसमें ऐसा दिख रहा है कि कुछ हिंदू ग्रुप के भी थे जिनके हाथ में बंदूकें थी। वो क्यों थी, कहाँ से आई?
अपना काम करेगा। किस आतंकवादी के हाथ में बंदूक है, किस पे अवैध हथियार है, किस पे लाइसेंस का काम है? कानून से बढ़ के कोई नहीं है, कानून अपना काम करेगा। सबकी फुटेज निकाली जा रही है। चाहे कोई भी कौम का हो, हिंदू हो या मुसलमान हो, सबको लाइन पे लिया जाएगा। जो गलत है गलत है, संविधान से और कानून से बढ़कर कोई नहीं है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप कह रहे हो कि कानून मानता है, आपकी टिप्पणी विवादित है, लेकिन आप नहीं मानते, तो आप पुलिस के खिलाफ हो, आप कानून के खिलाफ हो, आप कानून से सहमति नहीं रखते। अगर कानून मानती है ये विवादित टिप्पणी है तो आप माफी क्यों नहीं मांग रहे?
नहीं भागते उनकी तरह, आतंकवादियों की तरह। कानून ने बुलाया, हम पेश हुए, और जो कानून ने हमें बोलना था, सजा देनी थी, जो चीज थी, हम कोर्ट के द्वारा आए। हम घर छोड़ के नहीं भाग रहे, हम अपने घर पे हैं। आतंकवादी घर से भागे पड़े हैं।
मानना नहीं चाहते हो विवादित टिप्पणी है बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, जब पुलिस कह रही है और आप कह रहे हो कानून समझता है। बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप बात को घुमाइए मत।
योगी बाबा यहाँ भी आने वाला है।
बिट्टू बजरंगी जी, आप बात को घुमाइए मत। आपसे बहुत सीधा सवाल है, आप कह रहे हो कानून मानता है।
दर्द होगा सेकुलर लोगों को, पेट में दर्द होगा। बुलडोजर यहाँ भी चलने वाला है।
किसके पेट में दर्द होगा बिट्टू बजरंगी?
आप कह रहे हैं पेट में दर्द होगा, किसके पेट में दर्द होगा?
सेकुलर आतंकवादियों के। जो
सरकार अपना काम करेगी, सरकार अपना काम करेगी। आपने किसका ठेका लिया है? सरकार अपना काम करेगी, सरकार अपना काम। आपने किसका ठेका लिया?
पेट में दर्द होगा।
बिट्टू बजरंगी, आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है?
करेगा उसके पेट में दर्द नहीं होगा।
आपने किसका ठेका ले रखा है? मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ आपसे, मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ कि आपने जो इस पूरे विवाद में आपने जो काम किया है, आपका ये कहना है कि हमें धमकी दी जा रही थी, हम क्यों चुप बैठेंगे? इसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? इसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? क्या आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेंगे?
मंदिर में गए थे, हमारी लाइव लोकेशन निकाल दो, हमारे फेसबुक पे मैंने चलाई हुई है। मंदिर में गए, मंदिर में जाने से ही हम पे गोली चल गई। ये हमने पाप कर दिया, हमने जलाभिषेक कर दिया, ये पाप हो गया। हमने वहां पे किसकी गाड़ियां तोड़ी,
गोली का जो आपने वीडियो वायरल करवाया था, ये किस वजह से करवाया था? बने रहिए हमारे साथ, वो वीडियो हम चलाएंगे, उसके बाद में हम बात करते हैं।
कि बिट्टू बजरंगी रो रहा है,
ये वीडियो आपका
4
नहीं
साल
है?
पुरानी वीडियो है वो।
नहीं 7 साल पुरानी हो, 10 साल पुरानी हो, वायरल तो ये अभी हुआ है ना, वायरल तो ये अभी हुआ है। आपने क्या काम किया इस पूरे समय में? आपने क्या काम किया? आप कहते कि आप कानून से डरने वाले हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और लॉ के आगे कुछ नहीं है, तो आपने क्या काम किया?
मैंने क्या काम किया? मैंने तो जलाभिषेक किया, शोभा यात्रा में शामिल हुए।
ये वीडियो का क्या मतलब है? ये वीडियो चलवाने का मतलब क्या है, ये बताइए। क्या आपने ये वीडियो नहीं चलवाई? 7 साल पुरानी हो या 10 साल पुरानी हो, क्या ये वीडियो आपने नहीं चलवाई इस समय, वायरल नहीं करवाई?
कौन सी वीडियो?
ये वीडियो जो गोली पे गोली चलेगी जो वीडियो है, इसके बारे में बातचीत हो रही है। आप ही का वीडियो है।
मैडम जी, मेरी वीडियो को, पुरानी वीडियो को उठा के एडिट किया जा रहा है।
This is a rare oasis of peace in Manipur. The orphanage run by Donjalal Haukip, a Kuki, and his wife Rebati Devi Haukip, a Methi, is in the foothills of Khetal Banbi. Here an imaginary line divides the Methi-dominated West Imphal and Kuki-dominated Kangpokpi. A line so far nobody has breached. The orphanage run by Emma Foundation is home to 18 children, and they come from all communities. The children haven't been to school since the ethnic clashes started.
How many of them have not been going to schools?
They all go to school.
No, the small younger one.
Yeah, they all go. Before the conflict, they all go.
Before the conflict?
Yeah.
And since the conflict?
Since the conflict, only the higher classes.
Only the higher classes.
They now learn the occasional lessons from Rebati Devi Haukip and spend time in their dormitory among their books. Initially, they are wary of the guests in their dorm.
पोएम आता है? जिंगल आता है? पोएम आता है कोई? पोएम किसने याद किया है?
Attempts at friendly chit-chat yield shy smiles. Then they opened up, like only kids can do. And when kids do that, how does one hold back? Haukip and Rebati don't have kids of their own. These children mean the world to them.
They love with peace and harmony.
Yeah, they love peace and harmony. We are trying our best to be a good citizens in the future.
By the time we got ready to leave, the children obliged us with a song.
While people are at war against each other in Manipur, there are few stories that could be a living example and motivation for the entire state that love can bring peace and harmony. Love can bring you together, and this is what is need of the hour in this state which is in conflict and which has become literally a war zone. In Manipur's this part, bringing this dispatch with Sanjay Kumar, I am Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
Good speaker is a good listener.
maximum production budget which I have spent on a video of mine on Instagram is $10.
Oh, that's an attack.
You wanted something controversial.
हार्दिक क्या आप करके आया? कॉफी पीने जा रहा हूँ।
I act, I make people laugh, my way of just having fun. Chalo, let's start all over. Come.
Welcome back. You're watching Lunch Break. Now, in a shocking incident, several NCC cadets were brutally thrashed by a senior at the Thane training center. A video showing members of the NCC being subjected to brutal beating by their senior has gone viral on social media, causing shock and outrage among students and parents. The video, shot on the premises of the Joshi Bedekar College in Thane, shows a man caning the NCC cadets who are sitting on all fours on muddy soil with their faces down and hands behind their backs. Meanwhile, the principal of Joshi Bedekar College, Suchitra Naik, has ensured that disciplinary action is going to be initiated against the senior officer.
पहिली गोष्ट म्हणजे एनसीसीचे हेड म्हणजे ते विद्यार्थी आहेत, ते काही कोणी शिक्षक नाही आहेत. हा पहिला मुद्दा आपण लक्षात ठेवायला पाहिजे. आणि तरी म्हणजे असं व्हायलाच नाही पाहिजे. ही अतिशयच म्हणजे घृणास्पद गोष्ट घडलेली आहे. ती घडून गेली असेल तर ती अतिशय घृणास्पद आहे आणि नक्की याच्यावर आम्ही ॲक्शन घेणार. आपण नक्की त्याची काही शहानिशा करू, नक्की त्याच्यावर ॲक्शन घ्यायला सुरुवात झालेली आहे ऑलरेडी आणि नक्की ते आपण शेवटापर्यंत नेऊ.
That is time for a quick break. Here on the other side, cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts are under scanner for hate posts that fan riots. Over 2,300 videos from the 31st of July are under the scanner.
Years in the making, and you made points in terms of the concerns. In these 6 years, there must have been God knows how many number of data leaks. And I want to ask you, what does this mean for the average user, given the reality that some of the biggest data sets that exist in India are with the government? Aadhaar, driving licenses, the voter card base, services that we use from the government, apart from telecom, for example, railway ticketing. I could go on, and these data sets exist within the public sector domain. Explain to our viewers, does the exemption for government entities play out on such examples, and how will it work? Because, you know, the point also is that while there is a lot of social media usage, it is optional. You could switch off your social media accounts and live happily, but you can't get away from possessing all the various government IDs. That is with you from birth to death, Pratik.
Yeah, so I think, again, that's where the exemption bit comes in the sense that they still have to notify the instrumentalities which will be exempt. So at this point, it isn't clear which of these, will be exempt from, the conditions that are imposed on data fiduciaries. But that's where the concern remains in the sense.
But Pratik, may I interrupt you? If all of this is to be exempt, and I take your point that the final word on that has not been said in terms of specific exemptions, but if all of this is exempt, then what is even sought to be protected?
Yeah, no, that's the point. So in the scenario where all of this is exempt, then you essentially have a bill that maybe only applies to the private entities, right? Which also with limitations, because again there's the ability to provide exemptions to them as well in certain scenarios, also not to be determined at this stage, right? So as you pointed out, in the Indian context, a lot of our data is already with the state, right? A lot of this information is already a part of a breach somewhere. Already, folks already have access to it, which is why you're seeing cybercrime campaigns are becoming more and more sophisticated. Their operations are becoming more and more sophisticated. They are potentially able to build richer profiles of people for social engineering kind of attacks as well, right? So that question remains. And the bill also broadly then says that look, you have to retain data for lawful purposes, and this varies based on different things, right? I believe in the banking sector you have to keep transaction information for 10 years, right? Or if you go back to the certain directions from last year which required retention of user logs for 6 months, and in some cases customer information for 5 years,
Right.
until after subscribe this, after they stop
Right.
subscribing to the service. What happens to the right to erasure in that case, right? I may
Right.
exercise my right to delete this information, but neither the government nor the private entity will remove that because they are required by other laws.
Freedom comes with self-knowledge. I've become fearless over the years, but I definitely didn't start off like that. Being a street artist, one kind of creates an ability to be able to be in one's element no matter where we are. None of us are free until all of us are free. As women, we are not going to be given anything. We have to reclaim it and we have to own it.
Very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me start with the headlines first. India Today tracks down rioters' den. Rioters hiding in Aravali mountains. The police movement that's been tracked from the hilltop. A Pakistan-based YouTuber allegedly spewed venom during riots. Cops swing into action against hate posts. 3 social media accounts under scanner for hate posts that fanned riots. Over 2,300 videos from July 31st under scanner. New SP Singla has been transferred. India Today grills hate monger Bittu, exposed by India Today. Bajrangi defiant defends his video that triggered the riots. ASI team begins Gyanvapi mosque survey. After court clears the path for the ASI survey, the Muslim side boycotts. NCC cadets brutally trashed in a training camp. They were made to kneel in water, brutally beaten with sticks. All right, now days after violent clashes erupted in several districts of Haryana, situation now still remains tense. Let me take you through all the top developments coming in. Haryana government takes big action after new violence. The houses of mobsters have been bulldozed in Nu. According to sources, police identify the homes of those rioters, and the administration has issued demolition orders. Nearly 250 properties demolished in Tauru area of Nu. Security forces are carrying out a flag march in Haryana's Nu as the situation remains tense. Authorities have relaxed the curfew in Nu between 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Mobile internet services remain suspended in the area. Now, authorities in Haryana are cracking down on hate posts which have escalated the violence within the state. The police have now filed at least 10 FIRs against the hate posts. Officers are scanning several other social media accounts that fueled these riots. Bittu Bajrangi, one behind the accused, he seems to be the man going live on his social media accounts, relaying the riots live on his platform. The man has been accused of inciting riots now. An FIR has been booked against him. FIR details of how the video of Bittu Bajrangi was widely circulated on social media. That was what was the reason that instigated communal violence. After massive riots in Nu that shook the entire nation, the Nu's top cop, Varun Singla, has been transferred. Police Superintendent was on leave when these riots happened. All right, now India Today's investigation sets a fresh agenda here. India Today has accessed videos that show how stones were pelted from hills in the surrounding areas of Nalhar Mahadev temple. Amid the serene beauty of the Aravali hills in Haryana's Nu, our investigation reveals that 500 residents were hiding in those mountains and cops' movement were being trapped right from the hilltop. Not only this, the Sarpanch admits that few of those rioters have fled as well. Locals have confirmed now that they were hiding along those hill areas due to fear of the cops. Our investigation takes you right up those hills, just outside Nu, near the Nalhar temple, from where the first stones were pelted, from where the firing took place, right from that hiding spot. India Today goes where nobody has really dared to go. Our investigation reveals that there was intelligence failure, inadequate policing, very slim police force that were deployed along that route of the Muslim-dominated area where the VHP rally was passing through. Calls for violence were given on social media much in advance, and these rioters had those hills to hide themselves just when the yatra arrived. Now, the spotlight is, of course, on the Khattar government. Will they really act upon the failures of their own police department? Let's have a look. All right, let me cut across to Shreya Chatterjee, bringing us a lot more. Shreya has been tracking developments from the ground. Shreya, you're in Nu at the moment. We believe that many of the houses, nearly 250 of them, of those alleged rioters have been razed down. Give us a sense on the investigation. How far has the India Today report woken up those officers?
Well, Nabila, you very correctly pointed it out that it was India Today who's actually gone to the depth of the riots and exposed everything that spiraled out of hands. Now, we talk about the crackdown that the Haryana police is doing first. It was India Today who exposed the social media handles that fanned the fire. And after that, there is a mega crackdown on social media influencers who fanned tensions from both the sides. There are FIRs registered, which is increased to the number of 10 against social media influencers alone in Nu. We know there's an FIR against Bittu Bajrangi, there's an FIR against individuals named Adil, Shahid, and there are much more people who are under the radar of the Haryana police is what we know. Now, when we talk about the illegal constructions being razed down, this was in the Huda colony of the Tauro region.